Right.
You ready, right?
Yeah.
Right, so this is season finale.
Season finale.
Episode 10, aye.
Right, cool. Right, okay. Right, okay. Right, Chips, how we going? It's DiscoSaloon, episode 10, season finale.
Whoop whoop.
Let's Capaldi.
In disguise.
Episode 10, it's a special occasion.
That's
We're
so.
so pleased to be here. We're all like completely sober.
Aye.
No for long.
None of us are hungover, as far as I'm aware.
Nah.
We're all good. We feel
No, I'm
fucking
fine,
brilliant.
aye.
We're in good conditions.
Yeah. So to the left here, we've got Beanie, aka Aaron, aka the glow sniffing aficionado. To the right,
Baby.
we've got Bradley, aka Ches, aka Young Pygmy Sounds. We've got Jay as well. So I think this episode's getting released on Boxing Day.
That's
So you guys are probably kind of feeling a wee bit rough.
Oh, toast.
Feeling a wee bit kind of
He's better
shitty.
with toast.
Levels.
I'm
But what
hoping
about-
you're toast.
We're
I'm hoping
entering,
you're toast.
we're entering that festive fog.
Mm-hmm.
That really strange little space in between the year. So, Jay, what's your best way to spend the festive fog? How are you navigating this week?
Can I wasn't even prepared there, man. Your eyes were looking at him and then they just switched to me as soon as you answered the question. I was like, what the fuck?
Look into my eyes, can't you see?
You
You know what? It's that fucking Vicks nasal spray I just got given,
Oh,
man.
man.
Oh my god.
You'll no sleep the night.
So peak.
No wonder that thing's addictive.
Mate, honestly, I've been huffing it all day. Like it's
Aye,
a
all
can of lighter fluid, man. It's so good.
Aye, fuck, man. It's
I wish I was ill every fucking week, man.
If you can't see Bradley's, he's doing it right now. He's doing it on camera. We're actually watching the fall of man here.
We are.
We're watching
This
the
is
fall
it.
of an empire.
Too goddamn, man.
Up the Vex.
It's like poppers.
Fuck.
It's gonna get you.
Fuck. Anyway, Festive Fog. Jay Martin. What are you up to?
What you saying?
What are you up to?
Get what I was going to say. See, because I've never had a job where you get a week off at Christmas or that. Like, sometimes I'm just working doing it, you know what I mean? I think it'd be worse if you were off, because then you actually wouldn't have a clue what's going on. If you were off, I feel like Christmas Eve to whenever.
Aye, till like New Year's Eve or something.
Aye, you wouldn't actually have a clue, but for some reason, but it does still get you. I think it's just because you get swelted to fuck on Christmas Day and then it's Boxing Day, or there's the excitement of Christmas Eve, then you're swelted to fuck.
Yep.
Then you might booze on Boxing Day, and then for the next couple of days you're like, well, we did it now.
Do you know I was actually I was talking about this at work, and apparently going out on Boxing Day isn't really so much. I don't know if it's an Air Kelly thing. No, like obviously Air folk will go out on Boxing Day, but like it's quite an occasion here. Going out on Boxing
Like
Day.
a Boxing Day.
Aye, like
was
folk
on
love
and
it.
that
Aye,
as well.
football and that. But when I was saying to folk at work for Irvine or further afield, and they were like, Boxing Day? No, like that. You sit in the house rough, maybe get a Chinese. And I was like, no, you hit the pub. If able.
Are they more like Christmas Eve kind of folk then?
I think so.
Because Christmas
I
Eve
think
is
so.
like...
Aye.
But then Christmas Eve is weird because it cuts at like 8. Like everyone's out from like 5 and then it cuts at like 8, 9 and everyone's home.
Aye, Christmas Eve is. I've been out till 3 a.m. on a Christmas
Aye.
Eve. I have been.
I've
Aye.
never even drank on Christmas Eve.
Never
Aye.
drank.
I've never went on Christmas Eve.
I don't. I honestly, I'm trying to rack my brain if I've even ever had a beer on Christmas
Every
Eve.
Christmas
Really?
Eve. Every
Aye,
single
always
Christmas Eve,
got a
man.
couple.
I end up taking it too far and I wake up too rough on the Christmas Day, but
That's
you go
why I
again.
don't.
Aye, because you've. But is that 1, maybe 2 years? You've done that at my dad. No, was it last year at my dad's? There was 1 year you were mad with it, man, on Christmas Eve.
I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I went in at my dad's to. What essentially happens is I buy my dad a bottle of whiskey every year, and you end up staying up too late. You open the Christmas presents because it's Christmas Eve, but it's technically Christmas Day, and it's like, "Oh, it's your birthday, son. We better get them cracked right open." And then you end up cracking the bottle of whiskey that you got, and you end up tanning it before you go to sleep.
Aye,
Because you just don't stop.
what was it that happened that last time? I remember there'd been some. Well, I can't remember specifics, but I know you were blasted.
Aye. Blew it.
100% blasted.
Heavy blew it.
Were you singing in the kitchen?
Aye, we
or
were
something?
singing Michael Jackson in the kitchen.
Sounds about right,
It
man.
was so good.
Father-
Can't
Father
remember
Reed.
any of it.
He loves a bit of MJ, man. So do I.
Can't
but
bear it, man.
What's your
Aye.
favourite MJ tune? I wanna rock with you
all
Oh
night.
my god, man. Man in the Mirror, maybe?
Sunlight.
I wasn't expecting to see that one.
Aye, maybe.
Man in the Mirror is
That's
actual
so
peak. It's
good,
just
man.
a tune.
But he's got, I mean, 50.
Aye. I
Or-
can just a straight shuffle
Do you
on
ken
his
that
tunes.
Aye,
Scottish
hold on.
thing, Man in the Mirror?
Maybe.
Oh, aye.
Aye.
You want to
Wreck-
mention it in case him
wreck
doesn't
the
know?
full song for you. See that bit where he...
Aye, no, I know it.
But
See
aye,
that,
we've
see
spoken
see that
about
bit where he says favourite winter coat? At actual office sounds like
my favourite winter coat.
No, it sounds
No,
like my
feather went to coat.
Feather went to court.
Aye.
And it's
Well,
like,
it
see,
sounds
once
Scottish
you hear
anyway.
it, you're like, I
Oh,
can't hear anything
it's
else,
true.
man.
It is true.
It's
like
so
I've
good,
heard this.
man.
No?
So in that
I
Man
got
in the
off
Mirror,
now.
he's like, says something, he's like, my favourite winter coat, but it's honestly, my feather went to court.
Aye, it
It's
sounds
like
like-
crazy, man.
and a
It's
Scottish
crazy.
accent as well.
Is it just a
it's-
wee guy that made the tune?
No, it's Michael Jackson.
Oh, like
In
you
that
hear it
song,
in
aye,
very,
misheard
very
lyrics,
okay.
aye, aye, aye.
Aye.
But aye, it sounds like a
We,
Scottish
we'll
guy.
listen to it in the
Aye, I
break
figured.
and like you
Aye.
see it, it's cracked. Like it's fully there,
MJ's
man.
got so many tunes.
Earth Song's such a banger and all.
Aye. Aye.
Peak.
Me
The
and
video
I.
to that, man.
What
yes.
about us?
I like You Rock My World because there's a 10-minute
Yeah.
version.
Oh,
It's a
aye.
video with him and Chris Tucker.
Got to mention Thriller and all, which was
Aye,
released
has to be.
in the fucking
Billie
cinema
Jean.
as like a short film.
Yeah, that's the
Which is
man.
peak.
So
Did you
good.
did you ken that song was originally Starlight? There's a version it called Starlight.
What one?
Thriller.
Oh, Thriller?
Really?
So
Was
Thriller was Starlight, yeah. And then they changed
Was
it to
it?
Thriller. Aye, mental.
Aye. That's
Wild,
interesting.
man.
Was it to fit like the Halloween release or
I
whatever?
don't even know by the way.
Is
a
that
single?
the tune that like not kicked off MTV, but it made MTV like big though, because everyone was like tuning in so they could try and catch a glimpse of Thriller. But
I think Thriller
There's
was
something
like
to
a
do with
pop
it.
First big
culture
music
phenomenon.
videos.
Where folk were like,
Aye.
oh my god, music videos can
You're
be
pro-
something.
aye,
I think you're right. I think it was like the first like huge music video. I think.
I think he's
I
the
remember hearing about
record
that.
holder for albums sold.
Thingy.
Michael Jackson.
Dire Straits, Money for Nothing's man, and all that crazy
Aye.
80s animation where it actually
Yeah, yeah.
looks like. I knew you looks
Was
like
it,
Roblox or something.
there was a few of them. There was like Aha had like a mad video as well. That
Take
was
On Me,
like,
but
aye,
it's
that was,
all
like,
the drawings.
huge.
Ken that must have
Aye.
blew your actual mind
Aye,
back in
Aye.
the day.
fucked, man.
Oh yes, big
That
time.
money for nothing so good, man.
Like
That-
a
that
music,
intro's
like
cracked.
videos to music, you'd be
Aye.
like, what?
That is class, man.
I want my MTV.
Anyway, what were we talking about? The Christmas fog.
The Festive
The
Fog.
Festive Fog,
Fog,
aye.
Oh, I could fucking
The
yeah.
Christmas
it's-
carnage.
Because it's mad because like random football games get played on like
Aye.
random days. It's not like Saturday 3. It's like fucking Wednesday at 3 and all that. It's
It's
fucking
aye.
kind
man.
of strange, innit?
That's
So
what
I'm-
Boxing Day's good for. There's games all day.
Aye.
Aye.
In fact, does everybody not play in Boxing Day?
Aye,
I think so.
aye,
Aye,
it
it's like a
does.
thing on it. Is
Fuck
it not like
teams.
is it not like the 1961 Boxing Day is like the greatest Boxing Day of all time
Aye.
for some?
Oh, aye, because they have
'Cause,
like
like,
a record
every-
thing. It gets
aye.
mentioned every year,
Aye,
doesn't
it's-
it?
I don't know if
Is it
I'm,
Mace Goals?
I'm
Mace
probably,
Goals?
probably
on
wrong
Boxing
saying the
Day.
year, but it's something like it's from like the 60s, I'm sure. And it was like every game was like 3 each, 4-3, 5-4, and all that, man. And it was what?
That would have been
That's
unreal.
because they were all fucking passionate.
Or wrecked. Or still
Because
wrecked.
like my
Aye.
grandpa was a football in the 60s, and they used to get mad with it.
Aye, no,
the
I
night
think
before
that
games
like
and all that.
defo,
Aye.
like that's.
They were like drinking pints and having pies at half time and all that.
I don't mind what the Celtic player was, but I'm sure a famous Celtic player was like in the pub at half time in a football game and they had to like run down the pub and go, no, like you're coming on that second half.
It was
You better
probably
get
it was
out there.
probably Mays guys that were playing in the West of Scotland.
True.
Like they were all just like sitting smoking fags at half time and that.
Aye.
Cruyff,
I think it was
there's photos of
aye.
Like
The coldest photos of all time.
Not like
Cruyff
half-time
in the
fag.
change room.
Professional football players smoking fags
Aye,
during
that
the
might
game.
be the coldest
So-
It's
man.
that orange Holland tap, like
Oh.
from,
Aye.
back in
I'll
the
need
day,
to
and
see
he's-
that
he's
photo.
like that, man, and it's like,
I'm sure it was there was an Arsenal player. I don't know if it was Ray Parlour or something. He got interviewed about like when Wenger came in, and
Cold.
they were saying. So when was that? Like the
Oh.
early 2000s.
I can't remember.
96,
Late
I
90s.
think.
Oh, was
But
it as early as that?
They
96?
were all go to like the fucking pub after the games and getting bloated.
Because he
Aye.
stopped it, because he was the first to like go.
I think he like
Fergie
started.
did that.
Aye,
United as well, did you know? he stopped them from like
Because
eating
Wenger
shit.
done it, I think.
Oh, is it because of
Aye.
him?
I think Wenger brought in like that like fitness first kind of setting,
Aye,
like
aye.
as in like, oh no,
Like
you need to eat right.
mayonnaise and all that stuff.
Aye. He was the
Sports
first.
science and that.
Aye, sports science. I think Wenger was the one kind of introduced that, but he defo at least when he first came in, let them go to the pub, and the story was about how the English players would go and get a pint, and the French players,
Aye, I've seen
one of them
that,
came
aye.
out with him. And like he went up mid order and it ended up being like 30 pints and then one glass of red wine for the French cunt because he was like, no, I don't drink beer kind of thing. Can't remember who the player was, but funny
You're
story
damn
anyway.
aye.
I saw that, man. It's not really festive fog either, is
No,
it? But
Anyway, I will answer your- I was going to say, but time doesn't exist. It must be the only point in the year where
Oh,
it just
it
feels
is.
as if like
You're waiting for it to.
it's I actually think any day, it's less even time doesn't exist and just any day could feel like any other day. So like see a Tuesday and a Saturday feel inherently different in the summer. Right,
Yeah.
maybe summer's not the best example. Say in the spring, because sometimes in the summer there is an element to it. See if you've actually got time off, or you think back to when you were younger. But defo that bit between the 26th and like the
it's
31st,
just one day.
it just feels like it's one huge day. Especially if you're off. If you're in work always feels kind of weird in their points.
Aye.
It feels
Sounds
like
quiet.
halfway house, like you're there, but you're no as fucking fussed. Like nothing
No.
feels as stressful. There's no as much pressure on you in like within the windows,
Aye.
depending on the environment, obviously. But most places give a wee festive kick. Corporate fucking phone down and say, "I make sure they all got a fucking selection box." Huh? Like kind of shit like that. Like they'll
We'll
put
let,
up some
them, we'll
buttons.
let them off at 4:30, not 5 on a Friday.
Yeah, they better fucking lick our arses for that one.
As long as their KPIs are through the roof first.
But no, it's pretty chill. Like it's a weird setting. It's one of the only times in the year where this is probably actually a mere like proper point about it. It's one of the few times of the year where you will only get judged for becoming like a proper alky. Like, see for like a full week, you could drink. In fact, I would even say as much as like the second half of December, like the last 2 weeks of December,
Aye.
you can pretty much just like I'm sitting here drinking a wee mini bottle of tonic, and like I'm not batting an eyelid at that because it's the festive period.
I'm no
Like,
joking that I said the sentences before you said that sentence to Jay when we were in Morrison's earlier.
Did you?
There was a Snoop Dogg bottle of red wine
Oh,
or
I
something.
saw
like
that. I
and
was
like,
gonna buy it.
Ken, could you just drink a bottle of Snoop Dogg wine? And then you're like, it's the 16th of December. Like you can do what you want, man. You can get wrecked
Aye.
every day till like the 5th of January and folk would be like,
as long as it's Stokes
Christmas,
after
but-
that, like
aye.
because see if you're still drinking mid-January, like on this mad bender,
Aye, then-
it's like right, brother, how you
Aye.
even get money for this? Are you robbing banks? Like what's going on here? No, but definitely like there is a kind of hard line towards because after New Year's normally that's when you're scunning and you're like that's why everybody then goes dry January,
Aye.
dry
Aye.
January, and I might even do the full fucking year.
Can we actually of the alkiest place?
100%, like
Scotland's so
Scotland.
I've noticed
Britain
there the
cannot,
past
but
2
Scotland
weeks,
as
like,
well.
Folk have just started going hell for leather.
Aye, I'm seeing hunters of cunts out on like Sunday there. Hunters of cunts
just
out.
boozing.
Aye, just boozing, and then like the weekend goes from being 2 days to like 4 days. Like it's like, what's a Thursday night in the pub like? No dramas. Friday defo, Saturday 100%, Sunday might as well. Like it becomes more than half the week is like viable for a booze, and then in between, as we say, Christmas and New Year, any day is free for a booze as long as you've not got responsibilities that day.
Aye.
Fuck it, like you're fine.
we're
It's
the only
mad.
country in the world that's got a bloody unit pricing, man, because folk just take the piss.
Aye, because we do need
Too
that, I
often.
think, man.
And-
Can't
I think
drink in the street. Can't buy
Can't
after
drink in the
10.
street. Aye, we can't buy after 10.
Can't drink at the football.
Aye, 3 litre of Frosty, but for £2.50 was a joke. Like, do you know what? Like, that was maybe
2 litre of
£2.40.
Lambrini for a fiver, man.
Aye, like, it was something, it was cracked, man. They've just updated the minimum unit pricing as well. They've just put it up. So they have.
Put it up.
Aye. Like, as in, it's more expensive again. So, bottles of vodkas, like Glens and that now have a different price and stuff. So they do.
What do you think's going to happen? Folk are going to stop drinking. Like, see when they tried to put the tobacco, like, oh, you can't buy a 15-gram pouch of tobacco. It can be 30 grams only. It's like, well, folk are just going to smoke more fags then.
Aye.
Aye, like
It's,
but then-
10 decks and that.
Money, 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 money.
folk just find more creative ways to fund their habits like that. It's a weird kind of give and take fucker because it could definitely lead to more crime and more fucking shoplifting and more shit like that by putting prices up. But at the same time, I get it. They're looking at that NHS bottom line and going, "Fuck me!" Like we need to do something. Like that.
Change.
We've got to do something. But I don't know if like minimum unit pricing is the way to go. I mean, see, realistically, has it stopped any of us fucking drinking?
No.
Has it cut down how much we would drink? Maybe it stopped his binge drinking as much.
Aye, well, the frosting.
Because, like,
Aye.
obviously when we were younger, but, like, it used to be, like, see if we think even, like, say 10 years ago, and you had £6 each, you could pretty much get a pack of, and there was freeze, a pack of fags and, like, at least 6 litre of cider to go round these. Like, probably more than that as well. So that was kind of crack.
Frosty, man.
Aye,
we that frosting diluting.
whoa.
That's 89 or 69 pence, whatever it was, diluting juice.
Oh, mate.
Was it Scott Mid? The
Aye,
Scott
Scott
Mid
Mid.
summer fruit?
Aye. How much was the Frosty then? Do you remember?
Was it 2.79 for a 2 litre bottle? Something like that.
I think we get
Because I'll never
usually
did it
3
once,
Ls.
and I was way both use because I mind I waited in our dad's toilet.
I swear I think a 3 L was under a fiver, like 4.
I think it was. I think it was.
It was like
Aye.
£4.
It was like 20 units or something.
The Moab,
Like,
the Moab Frosty.
That
crack.
was stinking.
Aye, bogging.
A bit of diluting juice helped you. Honestly, a
It
bit of
almost
diluting
was like a dark fruit by the end.
Aye, but halfway through a 3 litre bowl of Frosty, it started to taste all
Aye, it did, man.
Aye.
But the one thing you were I was guaranteed with a 3 litre bottle of Frosty was you didn't need more drink than the 3 litre. Like, normally by the time you're
Your
halfway,
stomach gets
don't talk about that pan, man. It got fucking eviscerated. It was mad,
Can
man.
Both ends,
how they
man.
started branching out and doing the flavoured ones and that?
Aye.
Do they still have the flavoured ones?
I don't see them anyway. Like, I see the litre bottle of Frosty and because the litre ones, I see them.
The kind of thinner bottles.
It's like tonic water.
Aye, tonic water bottles. Aye.
I can't even stomach cider anymore. I'm
I
a fool,
need
man.
to
I
try
can't do
a
it.
frosty
I'm a
again
coward.
before I die. Like,
Aye.
I do it for a laugh, man.
but I mean like a glass, no, like.
Do you know what? Do you know what?
K's, were you going to say
Aye,
cider?
aye. I was
Yeah.
literally just
I
about
know,
to say
man.
exactly that. A K cider is like.
It tastes better than Frosty, I reckon.
I think 2 K ciders and you're on your air spot. Like 2 can.
Fucking wild. That reminds me of Bamboo Road case I done.
Oh, mate. Because see, if you
man,
picked up 4 can of K, you could almost guarantee at least 2 cunts.
That reminds me of Fraser Jackson. Me and him used to go and buy 4 can of cane before we went out and we'd have 2 can each.
Oh,
Honestly, you'd
man.
be swinging after it.
Aye. And what was 4 can of K? Like £4.50, £5.
I think it's still on there, like £7 or
It's
something.
right on the wire for the minimum
I'm
unit
sure
pricing.
you got bigger cans of that, no?
Bigger cans of K.
Aye, like
K's cracked. Aye.
Okay, man, I love the fact that the question was asking Jay about how he deals with the Festive Fog, and we've just been talking about getting wrecked,
Cider.
basically. Aye. Different types of cider.
Cider-
But that
cider
is what
tips.
it's
That is
about.
what I
see,
think
see when you were like 17, man, and school's finishing after 3 weeks. Speed, eh? Just
But
find a way to get
it's
drunk,
still like that now. Like it's
True.
just that
True.
that is like. I think if we hit right, it's spend time with family and it's been fucking like that kind of nice homely magical time.
True.
But the other bit is letting your fucking hair down.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've spent an entire fucking year grinding your arse to get a wee bit of time off at the end
Aye,
to
aye.
enjoy it with your family and that. I'm no got to have a drink. I think there was one year we didn't at New Year's, but we did have a drink on Christmas
Aye.
when we had planned to take a full year off the drink and that lasted 6 weeks or something.
Yeah, I lasted 4 months. I
You
think,
did,
so
you done well considering.
Even last year, I didn't try to like that year that we tried to like actual day like a full year of no drinking. I think Aaron got maybe. I think it was about 2 months.
Maybe
and
2 months.
and I was about 3 and a bit. But last year, I think I had maybe 3 months just cause. Like I think I was
Aye.
drinking on New Year's, but I just didn't drink.
I
like,
think this is the year I've drank the least since honestly I was about 15.
I
Genuine
might
wallet.
even be the same
Aye.
on that. Like, and that's me even having like because what I used to do quite a lot, like maybe before this year, was like see if I had cans in the fridge and I was watching the Fitba, I would just drink the cans. Like that's. I would sometimes pick up 4 can and just sit with 4 can, but
Was-
I don't really do that
was
now.
It was last summer where we get the cans of cider, wasn't it?
Aye, but I
what they
felt
called?
like that was like a nice one off inches.
And cheese, yeah.
It was like a nice one off. It was a sunny day. Aye, last summer.
Aye.
How
that time flies.
Picking down like the mountain. So for anybody that doesn't know the mountain, like just a nice big fucking patch of grass with water near it, like a river, and sitting in the sunlight on the grass.
That is peak, man.
Drinking like a wee refreshing apple cider. Peak. That's a different kind of drinking.
That's probably a near thing about that festive period that fucks you, because it's basically dark all the time. So you're like,
you can't really go many places. You can go shopping.
You may as well get wrecked. What else you got to do?
It's acceptable. It feels more acceptable to be drinking at night. Sometimes when you have a drink during the day, you're like, this feels kind of naughty.
Unless it's peak summer, like peak summer beer garden, or you're in a pub. See, if you're socially drinking out with, then that's kind of
alright.
like
that festive period, basically night all the time. So you're kind of
that's an nervy. Aye, we're finning the cracks and fucking.
It gets dark at like what 4 or 5, so you're just like,
you're
drinking at 2 before you can.
Half 3, just about.
It's 21st of the shortest day, and it's like 3 o'clock.
Aye,
3 o'clock. Is it?
Something like that.
That's
I remember
crap.
walking home from school in the dark and that.
wild, man.
In the
primary
fog.
school and
That's absolutely cracked, isn't it, man?
Aye.
So bush, man. I do like this period. I do like it. It's a fun
Me
period.
too.
It's probably the one bit of the year that you can guarantee, like, you're gonna have some sort of joy out of it, like some sort of enjoyment. See, every airport of the year, like, it's just it's a roll of the dice whether good things are going to happen. Like, there might be certain folks' birthdays, or like, say, like, it's somebody's birthday and we always have a night out for that, and we know we're going to have a good time there and then. But Christmas is the one time, because you know you're getting your family, you know you'll be practicing a bit of gratitude and a bit of giving,
Aye.
and you'll be getting wrecked.
Aye.
Like,
and you can the majority of your pals.
Don't forget.
The majority of your pals are doing the same thing as well. Do you know what I mean? It's
And
not
they-
like, oh, a pal couldn't make it. Like, everybody's spending their time with their people. Do you know what I mean? Like their family,
Yeah.
and they're
100%.
celebrating in their own way. And then like a Boxing Day, like you get a boys' Christmas night out and stuff like that. It's like
Aye.
your opportunity to do that beforehand or afterwards. Do you know what I mean?
Defo.
Aye.
So it's just a good time, man. Do you know what I mean? It's a good time to be alive.
I fucking love Christmas.
I love me some Christmas.
I love it.
That's good, man.
Nah, it is, man. It's fucking peak. Did we set a timer for this part, by the way?
I don't know if we did.
No,
though.
I think we just raw dogged it.
We just raw dogged it. I mean, we're fucking
Raw
grand.
dogged the podcast.
Do you think this like a interesting like build up to New Year as well? See, when you've got like a plan for New Year, I think that's in the back of your head, and you're like, I am working towards that night.
That new
Oh,
thing.
aye,
And that's
even
a
if
big
you're
thing.
dating things in between as well, like that's the kind of the pinnacle after Christmas. That's like the thing you're pining for, innit? I suppose.
I also think like it's that time of year where folk who live abroad or like live down south or live in
True.
different parts like uni, they're back home.
Aye,
true.
It's
that's an
so
early.
So there's a togetherness.
So that's why I
in
say Boys Are Back in Town by Thin Lizzy is a Christmas tune, man. It's a festive
Hey.
tune because all the boys are back in
It's
town,
hard
man.
to argue against
I
it.
seen
Boys
a
are
meme
bad,
about that,
man.
and it was like,
100%.
how come there's 1,000 songs about Christmas, but there's only one song about the boys being back in town? Oh,
Should
fuck,
write
I was
one.
thinking about something when you said that there, but I know I forgot.
Thin Lizzy.
When you say that it feels like you're building up to it, that's one thing about Christmas is like throughout December you can feel like utter dross, but then I think you feel like you've got an end goal in sight,
Aye.
which is so fucking mental. Imagine you could do that with air stuff in life.
I think it's an interesting thing.
You'd be the
'cause-
most goal-driven cunt of all time.
Aye, if you could attribute like that kind of, because you can start putting the shite to the side the closer it gets to Christmas, the less weight that your burden's had. If like the closer you get to Christmas, like you feel quite lighter getting into it, and then it's like obviously you've got to pick up the fucking pieces come January, like
Aye.
because your problems are still got to be there regardless of whether like you
That's
fucking
the-
avoid
But
them or
how
not.
fucking depressing is that you can get yourself so fucking built up and go, I don't care if I'm working 85 days in a row, man, I'm on Christmas after that.
Aye.
Whereas see even like stuff that would benefit you in life, you're like, I can't be fucked doing that, man. I
Aye.
didn't work for that. Who the fuck?
That is
It's so
annoying.
easy to check out at the Christmas time, man, and it can fuck you, man.
We need to
Do you know
get
what I mean? Like go to the gym, no go to the gym, man. It's Christmas in 3 weeks. So I mean, I'm not going to the gym.
I
No
think,
having a drink. What?
I think that's it there. One, the festive period for a lot of folk is the test of like the resolve way stuff. So say if they're off the booze, that is it's the most mental time. It's
No
also
chance.
see a time for like more turbulent families and stuff to try and come together and no be like see if the, like there's a bit of fucking animosity or beef like between the families, and try to put that aside to enjoy a fucking kind of Thanksgiving America settings.
Aye.
But that's our equivalent, where it's like you're trying to put your differences aside and just have a hingy. Not that I have much personal experience of that, I just know that as a fucking cultural
Some
thing.
folk, like you watch it, like you see it in films and all that, and like folk like hate Christmas, and I've like spoke to folk that
That's
don't like
cracked.
Christmas. Like the actual, they're like, no, like I have to sit with this folk from my family and and I have to deal with this.
Aye.
And it's just, I can't wrap it around my head. Do you know what I mean? Like I get like the folk are going to have folk in their families that they maybe not going with, or they have to put up with, or whatever. But it's just like, I don't know, maybe I just feel quite lucky. Like
I think we are
so used to having like 20 folk in a house, do you know what I mean?
Aye,
Like,
that's a big thing with us. You've got a huge family in that.
25 plus years of having that. Like imagine
True.
you've had nobody your full life.
I
You
know.
probably just think Christmas is utter gut.
You would look at it like the capitalistic
Aye.
fucking vulture scam it kind of
well,
is.
that's what it is, man. It's, it's
actually-
cards and presents and £3 wrapping paper and sellotape, but you can't buy the cheap sellotape because it has to be on brand sellotape.
You've got to get actual
Do you know what I mean? Aye, it has
sellotape.
to be sellotape. Just stupid things. But I think it's one of the things that you need to be, like as you said, like it's a time for gratitude. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, defo.
Like the amount of folk that don't have MD or don't have anything or don't. Do you know what I mean? So it's like kind of recognising that at the same time, but. It is mainly about getting wrecked.
It
with your
must-
family. that is kind of the big
Ken,
thing.
what
man.
that week must be? That week must be like the most. I don't know what the word is, polarising or divisive, but like that must be where like the best mental health all around the country is, and the worst is. at the
Aye,
same-
probably.
at the same
Aye,
time.
like that kind of like cross section
That
of
juxtaposition,
good,
aye.
like brilliant and piss mental health.
Aye.
Aye,
And like
Aye, well,
actual
like-
like proper
Aye.
brilliant and proper piss.
Because like not to get morbid, but is the suicide rate when about Christmas not huge?
January, I think's the worst
Aye.
month.
Like it is huge.
Aye,
There
I
is,
think
like-
so. And one thing that like unfortunately happens to a lot of folk, like we've even got folk in our family, see if you suffer a loss near Christmas,
Aye.
like our gran, she's suffered a loss near Christmas like 30 odd year ago, and it's was made this time
Aye.
so much harder. She still enjoys it and all that, but you can always tell when it gets close that it's like just
Aye.
it's just that wee bit extra. And I think that for a lot of folk as well. So like we're quite lucky, like me and Bradley specifically, like we've no experience in that. So I've got to be thankful and grateful for fucking what we do have.
Aye.
And like appreciative of the fact that like we can fucking hang it, because it's no I was gonna be as plain sailing or as rosy or as I just want to get fucking steaming.
Aye.
There will be bumps in the road, but I'm sure fucking we'll traverse them quite nicely, do you know?
This is amateur hour for me because this is usually the kind of facts that I do. Ken, what is Boxing Day again? I forget every year, and every year I see it.
It's the day where King George used to box cats.
Aye.
Aye, it's that one.
So good.
Every year I see it and I go, holy fuck man, it's mental, and then I forget about it. I'm like, what?
It's like his own little Christmas gift to you every year, man. It's
Aye.
class.
And it's like, oh aye. I don't know what else I do that way, but
Ken-
defo that.
Ken, I don't know. I can folk like Boxing Day, but I kind of don't like Boxing Day.
I
Kind of don't like it. And
Boxing Day sales,
But
I remember
I've
that.
always kind of been like that. Like, I don't know if it's just because the high of Christmas is so high, and like it being my birthday and Christmas Day and all that. Like,
You
like,
get that double.
this day, like, because I get one day a year, man. Like, everybody gets, like, it's not about me, but they know it is, right? There's 2 days. Everybody has 2 days to celebrate themselves. Christmas is when you celebrate everybody, including yourself and like your family and all that. And then everybody has a birthday, but mine's is the same day. So like, I like double doing it. It's straight double kill for Halo Reach, man.
But do you
Aye.
think you hate Boxing Day just because like the day before it's kind of all about, well, it's not about you, it's about everyday, but like,
I guess
it
so,
just
aye,
dissipates.
and in a way, and I think it just means that like it's an year of waiting for this big thing to happen.
Ken-
Not even just for me, but for everybody.
Freud
Do you know what I
would
mean?
be fucking loving
Oh,
you.
aye,
See,
Freud-
because your
Freud would love
birthday's
me.
never your own thing.
Aye. That's definitely like it's been a hang, man, big time.
Baby.
I've never met a human being in my life that said it's a positive as well.
No,
but I've
yeah,
always
he
seen it
was
as a
says
positive.
what a shame.
I always have to convince other people that having your birthday and Christmas. So it used to be when I was younger, it was kind of positive. Oh, double present. And double presents, and you're like, aye, whatever. But then as you go older, that must be fucking
No,
shite.
one present that's
One
worth
day,
25%
that
more
must
than the
be
normal
shite.
Christmas.
But
Aye,
it's one of
if we're
them.
coming at it for like money capitalism, man, it's
Aye.
fucked.
Oh, I
It's an easy
get
out.
raw dogged, man.
Aye, it's an easy out. No,
You're
no
getting
necessarily.
I'm getting one card with a tenner in it, and it's happy birthday, Merry Christmas.
I
Do you know what I
think
mean?
it's, the difference is like obviously for mom and dad they would still get you like
Aye.
an equivalent to whatever I got for
Aye.
they two, but for like extended family, one card with like one amount in it, whereas I would get two cards with two amounts for the folk that gave cards with amounts.
And looking at it from an adult perspective, if I had children, right, and a financial perspective, is that it must have been hard for our parents because obviously you're trying to please three wains to get what they want for Christmas,
Aye.
but also there's a birthday an child of yours, and you want to get them what they want, but you also don't want them to shove it in the face of the other two because it's their day too, because it's Christmas.
Aye, that's
You
true.
can't really win.
Aye, because if you get two huge fucking presents,
Aye,
although-
You're
they're
going
right.
to be pulling
I'd
up.
call it, but how did I only
Aye,
get?
how did I only get this? But then I think Aaron and Shannon were quite good at kind of recognising like whatever.
Aye.
And I think
If you got an extra bike or something that was right
Aye.
sound, because I got an iPod in October, like
Aye, I know our house. I always felt like Christmas was the biggest at them all. Birthdays were like kind of like if like they were the second kind of thing. Like at least in my head, it was like you go £50 to £100 for your birthday, but you go whatever you wanted for Christmas.
Aye,
Do you know what I mean? That's what it felt like.
To the main course.
Whereas some
Aye.
folk, it's the other way around. That folk get absolutely spoilt to bits on their birthday, but Christmas is like, do you know what I mean? But I don't know. It's every family's different.
Can anything is get alright about having your birthday and Christmas? You've not really had a Christmas where you just have needed to be alone, and it's always a
aye,
big,
that's
like,
true. Because
You've probably had more hoo-ha on your birthday.
Oh,
than me.
definitely.
Aye,
Also,
that's
like
true.
I have a birthday that nobody else has. Really, do you know what I mean? Like
No, it's quite a,
my birthday's on like the same day as Jesus. I've had.
it's an interesting birthday.
like, do you know what I mean? It's like it's kind of cool and unique in its own way.
It's one folk don't forget as well.
Aye, they don't like
That's-
see the amount of folk that I can't remember their birthdays, but they don't forget mine. They'll be like,
Aye.
I ken his birthday, but
Aye, because
but
when you tell some your birthday's Christmas, then it's like, oh well, I don't ever forget Christmas. But what's the fucking 8th of October? Like, do you know what? Like, it's
Aye.
just, and that's no my birthday. Mine's is the 15th,
I ken three air folk that were born on Christmas,
which is memorable.
three air folk that were born on Christmas Day. There was Mrs. Knox's niece, I think it was. Miss Knox used to be the classroom assistant because she used to tell me, because she was, oh, Christmas baby. And then when I worked in Inverness, there was a Polish woman. I can't remember her name, but she was really nice. But her name was like Victoria or something like that, right? And I'm no joking. She showed me a license and a more, right?
She showed me, and I was like, what?
No, a license. A license.
Or license,
She was
like
like 40.
driver's license.
She was like 40. Aye, a driver's license. What a license would
Got
it
my
be?
driver's
Aye.
license last week.
So this woman, right? I told her my
License
birthday
to
was on
kill.
Christmas, and I was expecting. Usually, folk are like, "No way, show me, prove it, whatever." She had the same birthday. Then she goes, "So does my ma." Her and her ma were both born on Christmas Day.
Oh, really?
I could not believe it.
That's cracked.
I felt like
I like
I float
how,
away,
I
man.
like
It was
how
mental.
your picks for folk that born on Christmas were like niche as fuck to like your existence. Usually folk will list off like celebrities,
I
and
like
historic,
Mesut Ozil's born on the same day as me.
But aye. But this is no, but there's nobody famous that's born on Christmas Day. Kevin Thompson is the 24th of December.
Good, man.
McAllister that plays for Liverpool, he's Christmas Eve too.
Christmas Eve.
Denzel Washington's like the 27th of December.
You need to Google this. There must be somebody.
Elvis
That's
is
too
like the
funny.
29th or something like they're Capricorns, whatever it is. But there's no many folk born on Christmas Day, man.
How did getting you American that you must have reached deep inside your fucking psyche and pulled that?
What, Miss Knox? Just outside was sat there.
That's
like,
because it's Christmas,
Because it's
innit?
Christmas,
Aye.
aye. And how many folk actually? It's just because how many folk have said they've got the same birthday as me? Do you know what I mean? Like Aaron, literally, Kaylee has one of your best,
one of your
pals
best
in the world.
pals.
Aye.
Me
One
and
of the
him
best
get the same
the
birthday.
same birthday.
Aye, no, you're
A
right.
year apart. Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's true. I was going to say, I don't know, I can't even remember anybody.
Pius VI, Italian Pope.
Oh,
right.
aye.
aye. Me
See,
and
I'll
him
not
used to
forget that.
grab a cider, aye. Let's see.
Oh, the founder of the American Red Cross, Clara Barton. She was
Clara
born on
Barton born
Christmas. There you go, Clara
Big up,
Barton.
her.
Jesus reincarnate.
I mean, Jesus Christ is obvious one.
That's the big one. You can't really tap Jesus Christ.
Louis Chevrolet, the founder of Chevrolet, was born on Christmas.
Yeah.
These are all quite high flyers, but then you're
Humphrey
probably...
Bogart, he was born on Christmas. There you go.
I feel like that.
He was looking at you, kid.
Aye. I've not seen Casablanca. Is that Casablanca?
Yeah.
I've not seen it, but I know, man. Citizen Kane. I've not seen it. I can. I'll get to it.
Any more of note? No.
Is there Fitbit
Is there
players?
no Fitbit players?
There will be, but I'm just kind of like going like through.
Telling you,
it.
I
They
meant
websites are all
Kevin,
mad
Kevin
buggy.
Thompson was Christmas Eve because it was in one of the old books. With
Who's
the Panini
Kevin
sticker book.
Thompson, the
He used to play
Fitbit
for
player?
Rangers
All right.
years ago. McAllister, Alexi McAllister's Christmas Eve day. He's exactly a day older than me. Odegaard, I think's like the 18th of December.
Is it?
And
Same as the
Mbappe, I
rain?
think's like the 20. Mbappe's like the 22nd or something like that.
He's the 19th, I think.
19th, aye. So
19th.
Mbappe's only a few days older than me. McAllister's exactly like a few hours older than me that day.
There's it is like random fucking.
Is it not that nay like one that you would be like, oh, you would just say like this?
So that's
cunt?
me just got to 1946. Oh, Jimmy Buffett. Get
Oh.
him.
Like
He
Warren Buffett's son? Is that who that is? Or no?
No,
yeah,
Jimmy.
what? I don't know actually. Fuck, it doesn't
Like
say.
the business cunt.
I feel like this is one when we should get
Sissy Spacek. She was born on Christmas Day. You can have played the
Predestination? No.
Carrie. No, Sissy Spacek. Carrie, Badlands, Coleman's
Carry,
daughter.
alright, aye.
Mm.
Hold on, that's me coming into the 50s now. Annie Lennox. You can Annie Lennox.
Oh, Sweet Dreams, right, okay.
Eurythmics.
Aye.
Aye.
Chris Kamara.
Well, there you go.
Chris
There's nobody
Kamara.
Chris Kamara's, is it?
Aye.
Chris
Yeah,
Kamara.
That's quite cool. He's cool, man. I like Chris
he's
Kamara.
a dude.
Don't know,
And,
Jeff.
Shane McGowan to the Folks.
Yeah.
Shane
Shane
I've-
McGowan.
Oh, there you go.
Is he,
That's a
he was the
bit
lead singer.
Aye.
Gary McAllister
I knew
that
that.
played with Liverpool. Gary
Gilli-
McAllister.
See Christmas?
Aye, so is Jorginho.
Jorginho?
Jorginho.
There you go. Gary McAllister.
It's
There you go.
No,
Gillian
it's Jorginho
Maxwell.
the leg.
Amy Buendia. Remember Buendia?
Say that again. Everyone do it? Yeah. Still Maxwell actually born Christmas?
Aye. And Dido, who did.
I'm actually born Boxing Day.
It's a white flag. What you was like, man?
Justin Trudeau.
Oh, the Canadian.
So I'm just
President.
saying fucking people now, man. Like
I was going to
There's a
say
few
before,
then.
before,
That
we,
makes me
before
feel
we
a bit
just start listing
cooler.
off names, we might need to wrap up.
Aye.
Armin van Buren, the DJ. You know him?
I think so, aye.
He does some tunes.
Aye.
Right, let's hit a wrap for this portion
Yeah.
and we'll be back.
Let's wrap this up like
How
Christmas.
about it?
Turns out it's actually quite a
about
lot of
it?
football on
Aye, well,
Christmas. So
there you go.
And we'll rip it back open all your gifts yesterday, you can't. Right.
Let's go.
My guys.
Go, baby.
I hear a voice.
Damn. Didn't know you could hit them notes.
I hit all the notes.
That
See if you seen the way he licked a yogurt lid, he wouldn't play so hard to get.
Aye. We're
You'd
back.
run
Right, we're back. DiscoSaloon is back.
Yes.
And because this is episode 10
in the season
And
finale.
season finale.
in the season finale, we're going to go heavy deep on this recommendations bit. So this is all recommendations that are super important to us.
Yep.
So we might change up the Recs for season 2.
Yep.
Depends how we're going to go, man. Depends how we're moving forward.
Yes, sir.
Can I tell you quickly 2 facts about 10?
Go for it.
Go with it, man.
Can I just
That's
stop
what-
you right
what-
there?
We're here for facts, yeah, Bill.
About 10?
About 10, aye. Right.
Oh, about 10. Right.
So the chemical neon, the gas neon, its like chemical number is 10.
I
Class.
didn't know neon was a gas.
So that's first. That's first fact. I can't.
Nice.
I'm not even going to go further than that because I don't care enough about chemistry. But aye, gas, some nut 10. The second one is. The word decimation comes from the word 10. Obviously, you could like eventually
Aye.
get to that because like,
Deduce it.
aye.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Rome, when folk like mutinied or like tried a rebellion or that, you would go down and kill like 110 for like this. Like, see if it was 10 folk doing a mutiny or like 20 folk, you would kill 2 of them, 1 for every 10 men, so that then like the 9 air folk kind of were feared into submission. So decimate something to destroy something.
Oh,
came
shit.
from
Is that
that.
oh, that's
Aye.
right. Yeah.
And that's about all I got. So
I really like that.
That's pretty cool.
pretty nice.
Right, so we're actually loaded up on the Eldorado, the snus,
Yep,
Snus,
snooze.
beef jerky,
Beef jerky.
The-
Bad
the
Jack
Vicks.
Links.
the Vicks nasal spray. He's back on it.
This is
He's double done.
He's double done. This
He's a very
is such
double
a
done.
I was
carnage
just making a
episode.
noise about it.
I don't want to get all hangy on you, but I'm starting to get worried about you on that. Because like I'm fine with you doing it like a couple of days after you're ill, but if you're still doing that a month from now, I think we're going to need
Aye.
to have conversations.
Intervention live on the pod.
Aye, that's fine.
Aye, fucking right.
I don't want to find you hiding one day somewhere, and I'm like, what are you doing in there, Bradley? And you're like,
Nothing.
no, Bradley, no.
Hiding in my cupboard, you open the cupboard, it's just 400 boxes of Vicks, man, just with the stickers ripped off it.
Drop the fucking Vicks. Step away from the Vicks. Anyway, I'll let you continue. Sorry.
That's all I had to say. Just the Vicks, Snus, Eldorado, and beef jerky. And yeah, that's what funds this podcast. Is all of that.
It does.
Keeps us going.
Keeps us ticking now.
But yeah, so we're in number 10, episode 10 of Disco Saloon. So we're going to go 10 out of 10 shit.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we may as well have like a little bit of time dedicated to each. But who wants to go first? Who's wanting to hit
Who's
the
stepping
first
up?
piece?
I don't know. You don't often go first, I don't think, because you're like the guy.
Yeah,
True.
I'm like hostess. So
Aye, true. I think you should go first in light of that.
cool. Aye, lovely. Right,
Sweet.
so I'll hit 10 out of 10 album.
Give Bradley some time to think of his 10 out of 10 quote.
I don't even know if you've got you've actually hit us like 3 10 out of 10 quotes in this whole series, so you're fucking
He's
you're
went
on
right
this
Wish I
on
one.
could take them back. I've got my 10 out of 10 quote for me, and aye.
Aye, right, cool.
I'm actually thinking about this album, I'm like sweating, loving it. I can't wait to tell you about original Pirate Material by the Streets. I can't wait.
Wow.
Perfect.
Ken
I
with
don't
the
know it,
fucking
but-
aye you do, because see
Oh.
that song on FIFA, something for Generation Roman.
Oh, aye.
That's a remix for that.
Oh, right, okay.
Tag the many.
Tag him,
Oh,
mate.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Aye, aye,
You's know
aye.
yous-
Ken the Streets.
Aye,
I do know.
I've no
Just-
sitting tant any albums, but I know
Aye.
the
That
Streets.
song's a remix.
Right. What are the... Oh, well, you'll get into that anyway. I'm sure I'll know some of the songs anyway, regardless.
See, so I'm going to cut it because I could talk about this album for days. I
Yeah.
could write like a dissertation about this album.
Yeah.
I love this album. I'll keep it short to like 4 or 5 tunes, right?
Yep.
So it kicks off, man. So original Pirate Material, The Streets. I think it was 2003, 2004. So it's about
I'm going to
20
guess
years old.
2002.
I'll double check
2002?
that for you guys right this second
2002.
because so this was like a proper
Five grand in a mortgage on black. 2002.
2001 for a laugh.
Nah, 2002. Mortgages on it.
because
Mortgage on it.
so
And I've lost my mortgage. That I didn't even get.
it was 2002.
Oh baby, he's up.
We're up, man. We're
How
up.
owe you a mortgage in
Jay-
5 grand?
Chris Money.
Aye, we're on J Moneymaker right here, man. But yeah, original Pirate Material, The Streets, Mike Skinner, and The Streets, the rest of the guys who never really get the shout, man. But they're dudes as well, like proper dudes, like the live like Streets version, man. Fucking unreal, man.
Unreal.
But it kicks off with the strings, man. With the strings. So the first album is first song is Turn the Page, which is dun, 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 dun,
That's the one that's the remix of this year's FIFA.
Aye, it was a Over Mono remix.
Aye.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like turn the page, go to first major,
Aye.
something like that.
Aye.
Right, okay, aye,
Yeah,
aye,
yeah.
aye.
And
Okay.
like, so it's almost like a war cry, the song, but it's just an introduction to like Mike Skinner and like guys who were going out to like garage club nights and that, man. And it's proper like, so like I was like a big club guy, like club culture guy, like not like your shit clubs like Kelly clubs like the garage and fucking Bakers and that. we're talking like, for me personally, this makes me think of like the Subway in Glasgow, Berkeley Suite, Mash House in fucking Edinburgh, man. This takes me to like every single car journey, like for like 5, 6 in the morning back to Kelly. Me, Cam Beat, Ali Hewitson, all those cats, man. Like
Aye.
we listened to all these tunes on the way back. So shout out those cunts, man. Those are my guys.
Yep.
Coming back, feel like club nights where we were like on it, man, boozing, doing whatever, man, like having the best nights of our lives. Hundreds of wee mad stories. We would be sitting in the back of the fucking taxi, some cunt who were paying like 50 quid to get back to Kelly at 5 in the morning, just talking utter shite, man. Peak, man. There's a song, so I'm going to skip. There was a song towards the end of the album called The Weak Become Heroes, and it starts with these beautiful strings. It had a way with strings, man, and it then dips into like this little piano loop, and he's just talking exactly how you feel when you're in a club night, man. Like, you're talking to guys. So he's got like a story. He's got like a line where it's like, "What's your story? What's your name? What you on?" That is it, man.
Yeah,
Like, that is club culture, man. That's when you're meeting like the most interesting people you ever meet. I've got like jobs for like meeting guys in club nights, man. Like, I've written like for like magazines because I've met guys at gaffs and all
Human
that.
Traffic. See the film.
It's that kind of vibe, man.
Has it come to this on that?
Yeah. We're coming to that, man.
Sorry.
Has it come to this?
I'll put my tongue in my mouth.
So it starts off, we turn the page and it's but then it sounds hard and it gets this little like and it builds and it builds and it builds and it's just Mike Skinner like talking about all this like mad shit. He's like talking about how he's like 34th generation Roman and all that, man. Everything he says, it's like, so he's got like that ultra realism feel, which is like my thing all over. Like, see films that are ultra real, like TV shows, The Wire and all that, man. Mike Skinner talking about this, man, it's the peak for me. Like, I discovered this album properly, so it had always been like a thing for me growing up, because like my brother and my sister, we had the CDs and all that, like Grand Don't Come For Free, the second Streets album, we had all the albums, and we used to just listen to it in the car, like going mad road trips and that, just listening to these, and I didn't quite understand it fully until I started going out. And then it's like he's talking about like eating like takeaways after the night and that, and it's just, you feel it, man. Everything he says, I've experienced it, man, and it's such an important thing for me personally, this album. Like not even like talking about like the actual instrumentals and the sounds, all the sounds on it, all the things he says is what I was experiencing at that point. And it's such, like, it's weird how it, like, how on point it is. It's mental. Oh man, I could talk for I could.
Can
go,
I make you
man.
incredibly jealous and incredibly try and attempt to one up you here?
Go.
Ken, he followed me on Twitter.
Did he?
Neighbour.
That's cracked.
I'll need to find the photo, because I'm pretty sure they then unfollowed me, but I don't know how it.
That was like You God for Wu-Tang followed me, then unfollowed me like 2 days later when he probably thought I was like,
realised like what my tags.
and he was like, "Oh wait, no, this isn't the left back for Wrexham FC."
I'm awful glad you picked that album up, because I've got
That's
it in
one of
vinyl,
my
and I was
favourites.
fully expecting you just to pick the most weirdest, randomest thing you could.
Nah, man, nah.
But you've
'cause
actually went for something that it's like
everyone should listen to it, especially if you've ever had like experience with like club culture, raves and all that, man, because it's
also very British.
Oh yeah, 100%. But that's the mad thing. Like, so many like American guys took from it as well. Like Danny Brown, like the
He
rapper,
likes,
they all like took from it, used the sounds that he made on it, and they made their own records. They became like their own like style.
What were you going to say about Has It Come to This? Because I interrupted.
Like, that is, see the beat to that original part with you, Lock Down Your Area. That is one of the greatest choruses of all time.
What
man,
age
for me.
did he make that album? I don't know.
He must have been like 25 maybe, so he was a wee bit kind of OG with it, man.
He's like, we were talking about Bukowski there, they were talking about smoking fags and being a loner.
Aye.
He just raps a bit like fucking
Just
birds,
take pose and that.
fags, cans of Stella, smoking hash, like.
He's like a
He's
kind of a rap, because it is kind of like rap, innit?
It's like
kind of
poetry.
rap,
It's like spoken word poetry.
spoken word. He's like what Alex Turner wants to be,
Yeah.
or was before he went all that way.
He's almost like that without like the flowery language.
Aye,
He's just kind of straight to the
Also,
point.
see if you see him, like, see if he didn't do that, he'd definitely just be like a taxi driver or something.
Aye.
100%.
Like,
He would just be some like old guy.
No dissing taxi drivers, but like.
Aye, just be like a normal human.
Working class.
He
Aye,
would be the
normal
kind of
guy.
guy where you'd jump into the back of his taxi and he would just turn to you. He was like, "Oh, I remember. I was back in the day. Garage raves and that. We were there, man. I was there before you were there, mate.
Just
I was
telling you stories without.
just being
asking
like, there was this time I fucking like saw a guy like punch a fucking cow in the face and all that. Man, he's that kind of guy. Do you know what I mean? But the mad thing is, so the album starts off where it's all talking about like the raves and it's talking about the clubs and that, but then he goes deep in like the mental health and the actual like the repercussions from that lifestyle as well. Like the last tune on it is a tune called Stay Positive, and it is about like your missus leaving you. It's about the darkest days that you feel after, when you feel you're too old to be going out to these clubs and like having these kind of good times. It's about that lack of serotonin.
Can I ask you, what's the one where he's gonna meet his bird at this like fence or whatever, and it's like raining?
Blended by the lights.
No, that's he's meeting at the club. There's one where he's like meant to be meeting his bird down the bottom of this lane, and it's like pissing down, and she like patches him or whatever. And he's talking about buying weed. Don't know, man.
That's like most of them, man. That's like most of the tunes.
No, to be fair,
but yeah, he's got like a tune called like Geezers and Excitement, and he does go kind of deep in about like the violence inside men when they don't have much to live for, so they are just kind of living for the weekend. And he's talking about like it's that dichotomy, the dynamics between having such a good time, but then the morning after, and it's
the aftermath,
and it's like you feel that. So like you can listen to this on the way out to a night, but you can listen to it on a night, and you can listen to it the day after a night, and it's the perfect soundtrack for that. Every single tune hits, every single one. He's talking about like just being in the pub, like playing darts and that.
That's the kind of vibe,
and that. But like we've all been there. Like we've all experienced that.
We've all enjoyed it.
The song I'm talking about, I think, is That Week Become Heroes.
Aye, that.
Because it's the one where he's describing like a list of things he's doing, and he says like meet his dealer, walk here. And then he's like, I'll send you a text, meet you here, that kind of stuff. It's like a list of a day kind of thing.
Aye. But yeah, honestly, see what I'm like talking about it. I feel it so heavy, and I think it maybe just came to me at the right time, and maybe it still like resonates so well with me. Like I'll still listen to it and just get like I move when I hear "Has It Come to This." So like, see when you hear the beat, "Has it come to has it come to this?" Wild, man. Like the wee beat, and it's got that little I'm not going to sing it, but every single part of it, man. And he's talking about like his pals getting like a new motor and them just like jumping in it and like just like doing like fucking drifting around corners and all that.
Ten
man.
donuts.
Like it's so much fun to listen to, man. Just to hear his little stories and that. Love it, man.
It's like a kind of good, it's like British telly and all that kind of stuff where it's got hundreds of stuff and you're like, aye man, that's
the goat, man.
Good kush.
It's goat, man, and it's 10. It's 110%. It's a 10 out of 10. Like every single tune hits. All the beats are fantastic. All his poetry is like unbelievable. The tunes are bangers, man. Like so, the first tune, Turn the Page. I remember there was one night I was at an illegal afters with Cam Beat, Ali Hewitson. We'd met like a bunch of guys. We'd met like a bunch of boys from New Zealand and boys from Colombia and all that. And we just took them to this night, so we were going there quite a lot. I'll not say it because I'll just not say it. But there was one point where we were there and it was like 8 a.m. and there was like, so the windows were blacked out, but there was like an outline of like the window, so the light was coming through. It's like a pitch black room, and the DJ dropped on the page, and all I remember was the sun coming through this like border of the window, and I just looked up and I was like I'm in the moment right now.
Yeah, you're in it.
See, because you like you weren't allowed phones, you weren't allowed to like
record,
you weren't allowed to do anything. You just had to be there, and like you were just like surrounded by all these people who you just met that night, and you fell in love with these personalities around about you.
Feel like you become one.
And you just feel like the strings building, and him talking about fucking, like raising your fist and like fucking feeling it, man. There's so much to it, man. Like, see if you just have a night where you just sit, listen to it front to back. There's like a tune on it where he's talking about like completing Gran Turismo on the hardest setting and all that, and he's just sitting like smoking bongs and that, and he's just
That's class, man.
I was going to say it's probably a good album to sit and just smoke fags to, and maybe with a couple of cans. If you were ever to do that one night, it would be
it's
the
mad. Like
perfect
he's
soundtrack
talking
for
about
it.
like the like wasters and that like at the time, and just how easy it is to kind of fall into that kind of trap, and how hard it is to get out of it.
Yeah, he talks about if I'm sharing one or two, more than one song. He talks about Benson and Hedges.
Aye. One
Sure.
It's just
Bayonets,
that kind of shit,
brilliant.
man. Like,
everything about it, man, is incredible, man. top 10 albums for me of all time, man. Even down to like the cover of it, where it's like the flat building.
buildings, aye.
And it's like,
holy shit,
you can look at it
balls.
for ages. It's like a painting where you're like looking, you can see like certain flats have like the bright lights on. There's like a party happening in one of the flats, man. And he just took the photo, and it's just like, that encapsulates it perfectly. And it's like, this is what growing up in like almost like in a city limits kind of environment, and just going out, meeting people, getting on it, and then regretting it the day after, but loving it still.
Aye.
And there's a line in We Become Heroes where he's talking about, he's sitting in like a kebab shop or a chip shop or something, and some woman comes up, taps him on the shoulder, and he realises he's 5 years older. All that time is just like flew by, and he's there, and he's like,
oh, it's what do they call the things in England? Greasy spoons. And it's like cafes.
Aye.
They call them. I think they call them greasy spoons or greasy forks or something. It's like Kate's Kitchen or something like that.
Oh, right, okay.
Maybe that's a nicer one.
Aye.
Kind of like Pinocchio's in the tune.
Aye, just like your
cafe,
kind of
like,
your
it's a
tune
wee bit-
cafe.
It's a wee bit dirty. They've
there'll be
maybe
a
no
fix.
washed the flares, that kind of
Aye. They've not got a sheet on the walls to say that they've cleaned it.
thing. And aye, 5 years goes by like that, and
And
he's
it's
like,
just-
what the fuck have I done?
and like I feel that, man. Like I'm 26 now, which we've mentioned a few times.
Aye.
We've mentioned it a few times.
Damn, son, you're old as shit.
And you know what? Like,
Then we gonna be 40 tomorrow.
during like COVID and that, it was like, that was like 2 years of my life that we'll not get back, but it was like 2 years of like going out that I just never got. And like when I would listen to the album, I would get super sad. That was all the time I really got like, nah, that's not true. Like, but like thinking about like going out, I got super sad thinking about going out, like the kind of nostalgia kind of thing.
Like melancholic nostalgia kind of thing. Like, oh my
Aye.
god, why is this no
Aye,
my
it's
life
just not
anymore?
happening anymore.
Aye.
And it is just a case of like, these things do just come to pass.
Aye.
And you have to just move on, but you've got the stories behind you. You've got like the times that you had, and it's incredible, man. Everything about it, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
And it also spawned one of my favourite videos of all time, which I don't know if you've seen. It's Mike Skinner. He's getting interviewed backstage, and he's out his nut. He's sweating, fuck, man. His jaw's rattling, and he's going to this interviewer guy who's like, he's talking to him, and he's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, but Peter Mandelson in the 90s lost it. Talking about killing Tony Blair and shit. He fucking lost it. And then he walks through the fucking bit, the tune's playing, and he just starts rapping straight away. And he's on the fucking stage, doesn't miss a fucking beat. You need to see it, man. It's incredible. It's one of my favourite videos of all time. But it's like, yeah, talking about killing Tony Blair and shit. And then he goes, yeah, turn the page, walk away. It's incredible, man. Incredible. Anyway, you've got me monologuing. That's
It's
me.
alright.
That's me.
I mean,
That's
if it's
me.
going to be a 10 out of 10, man, like this is.
We'll need to do one
is a
more.
time.
We'll get 10 minutes and then we'll need to do an haircut. So we will.
aye.
Aye.
Have I
20 minutes.
Fuck.
Aye.
I would apologise, but this
Oh, I mean, 10 out of 10.
No, 10 out of 10. You've
This-
got
this
Cap,
is-
cap a man on his 10.
it's peak, man. It's peak. Listen to it. If you haven't listened to it back to front, do it. You'll love it. It's so good. Anyone listening to this at home, listen to it. Anyone that's ever been at a club and loved it, listen to it. If you've ever been at a Cheetah Club until like 4 in the morning and then went to an afters, that's it, man. If you ever got like a fucking black pudding sausage supper for Blue Lagoon after going to La Cheetah
up
Club,
the Blue Lagoon.
that's
man.
it, man.
Chips, cheese, curry, man.
If you've ever like got into the deepest chat you've ever had with a guy in the smoking area talking about how his son like cured his cancer because he was started smoking hash, that's it, man.
I've had that conversation.
Like there was a point where I was making a documentary with a guy because he was telling me about this, and I was like, we should hook up, man. We should fucking do this, man.
That meme I tell you about.
See
It's
the
like two guys, and it's like, let's make a song, and it's like two guys who almost definitely
I
make
never
a
make
song.
a song.
it's like one of those where you like book yourself in to go scuba diving lessons the day after with some random boy you've met, man.
Aye.
I have done that. There's been nights where I've booked like a holiday with a guy and ended up like just like the night that we were at Liam French's, shout out Liam French's.
Aye, and you just
and
booked to go
just
to
booked to go to Manchester, and we just ended up in Manchester like 2 months later. It's fucking
So
amazing,
peak.
man.
So peak.
But yeah, original pirate material, lock down your aerials, you listen to the streets. Aye, unbelievable. 10 out of 10.
Peak.
So Beanie, do you want to go video or do we want to cut here just to kind of save a little
We've
bit
got
of
9
time?
minutes, so maybe I don't know if
So who's got-
yours be shorter.
Right, do you want to do it 9 minutes?
Mine's won't be that long.
Right, we'll go you then,
I
brother.
kind of danced with the idea, a few different ones, and I think I'm going to talk about more than one if that's all right.
Aye.
Do it.
But I'm going to the quote that is actual 10 out of 10, probably my favourite quote in any film ever, and it's actually been mentioned in a podcast before. Is the quote for Thomas Hayden Church in Spider-Man 3 after James Franco's character's just died, Harry Osborn's just died, and Peter Parker is like, right, thank fuck that's there, but like, what is going on? What is actually happening with my life? And then he sees the Sandman and he's like kind of got a bit of blame in his eyes, but he knows it isn't him, like it wasn't his fault. And there's no really empty to blame. And it's kind of Harry's fault because he wanted to kill Spider-Man and then he comes back. There's just so much, and it kind of hits the right way. Like Spider-Man 3 just had such a nice place in my heart. But there's just a bit where the full film is leading up to how Sandman is doing all this stuff and working with Venom to try and like help his daughter who's actually sick. And it's not just like, I'm a villain. It's like actual, like he is trying to, like he's an actual working class guy stealing money with the powers that he happened to fall into, like actual a sandpit, and it leads to all this, and he doesn't say sorry. And I think the reason I love this quote so much is because whenever I watch a film, and I don't know if you do the same as like kind of film guys, when I watch a film, I try and think of what I would try and say in comparison to what they would say, because there's so many times the same lines come up, or they're cliche, or like you don't know what, like you could just could I said something better. But that's the line it says, I don't want your forgiveness, I just want you to understand. And like that to me is just like, what? Like he doesn't want him like to forgive him. He's not asking for any sorrow, he's no wanting pity. He knows, he understands that he has been the one in the wrong, but he also just wants that understanding for him. And I don't know, it just absolutely gets me. And that first scene, and I think like it has more juice to it because Spider-Man 3 get absolutely shat on, and it's like one of my favourite films ever, and it's such a special place. And if you actually go back and watch it, it actually kind of slaps as a film. There's kind of plot holes. Topher Grace wasn't great. Folk shat on him because Venom could have been so much more exaggerated and big and huge and all this kind of stuff. I don't know enough about the comics and all that. I'm not a pure Spider-Man guru. I thought Topher Grace was alright in 2007 when it came out when I was like 8-year-old. I mean, he's in that church getting lifted up by the mad fucking
The symbiote.
And he's asking God to kill Peter Parker and all. Like, that slaps, man.
Andy's got a feces kink, so it's alright.
Feces kink?
You said no, it's not. You said folk were shitting on him, but lucky for him, he likes it.
But it's just, I don't know, man. But the way he delivers it to, man, it just sits so good with me, and I think it caps off the trilogy and all that different stuff. Like when I hear that line, like in my head, it gets me so brick, because there's so many films, there's so many films that you watch where you just like, I pray for a line like that, like one that just sticks with me. And I just don't forget that. And whether it's like nostalgia or no, like that line is like, it's the best bit of the worst one of the films, especially since I had them so dearly. Do you know what I mean? And there's quite a lot of quotes that I kind of went, with great power comes great responsibility. Do you know what I mean? I think that was Voltaire that said that. It wasn't actually. Do you know what I mean? But that had so much as well. I think Spider-Man, just like the idea, like growing up when you're younger, like this normal geeky weirdo guy just might get bit by a spider, and they might end up with like being a hero and saving folk and with a lassie that fancies, even though like there's memes now that Mary Jane was actually the problem the full time. Like, she's actually just cheating on him like, all the time. He's like been with his best pal, been with some rich guy that's an astronaut, like, and it's just like, what were they thinking? What were they writing here? But I mean, I never thought about it that way. But that's I could talk about Spider-Man for 8 million years, but that's kind of cause I've spoke about it before in the podcast, but that specific line just gets me, man. It's actually so good. The other one I was thinking about that was my yearbook quote, and I was kind of half saying this off camera, is the one for Breakfast Club, which is pure angst as anything, but I don't care, because when I was 14, 15 and 25, I still joke. I'm still angsty.com. Blink's still like my favourite band. It's brilliant. I don't care. But it's a line when all the guys are sitting round and like the top of the stairs in the Breakfast Club. Shout out to Erin Mackay, because she was the one that introduced me to the Breakfast Club and Blink. She's goated.
She is.
But there's a bit where I think it's Andrew's character, who's like, his whole thing's about his dad doing his throat but not being good enough and all this kind of stuff, and he's like, win, and I think that full scene's actually improvised as well, which is quite cool. I like the different bits. It's really sad actually as well, with like Brian's character talking about like shooting a flare off his face and all that. It's mental. But there's a bit, the quote was, he says, "We're all pretty bizarre. Some of us are just better at hiding it, that's all." And I think like being in school at the time, it really gives you a bit of perspective that no matter kind of the place that you're in or where you're from, that it gave you kind of hope that you could be pals with MD. Do you know what I mean? That there wouldn't be like friction between folk if you spent enough time and you spoke about it, and you actually spoke about the problems at each background that folk came from. Well, obviously, like, Big John Bender is like smoking fags off the top of his boot, and he's this pure cool guy, but then he's like, "Oh, my dad just puts fags out in my arms," and you're just like, "What?" And then he's like, "Oh, my dad just Disney, whatever," and then they're talking about the like, I think it's Ali Sheedy, her name is, who like likes eating the sugar and all that. I think she says that her parents just don't even notice her, and it's just all these different things. Do you know what I mean? Aye, but that's my kind of quote section of the week. But that Thomas Hayden Church, man, I still need to do my Spider-Man trilogy. I might just sit and do it at some point this week, because it actually just gets me, man.
Need to get
10
it
out
done.
of 10.
Bye. If you do something wrong, if you do something wrong, don't go sorry. Walk up to somebody and say, "I don't want your forgiveness. I just want you to understand." And I'm telling you, you will fucking forgive them anyway. It's so good, man. I've said it jokingly to folk before. Let's see, I don't know, man. You fuck somebody's coffee or something. I don't want your forgiveness. I just want you to understand.
Buns.
Aye. Bye. Nothing crazy.
Nah, fuck that.
That's what it gets me, man. That's just that simple.
So what was the actual second quote? What was the full quote for that? The second
For the Breakfast Club,
Aye.
we're all pretty bizarre, but some of us are just better at hiding it. That's all. That was what my yearbook quote was.
Like Breakfast Club is so good at breaking down that kind of the like stereotypical characters. It was really good for bringing you into like a world and then breaking it down, and you like see what's underneath the surface flesh. You know what I mean?
It's just so
That's
good,
what's so
man.
good about it.
Even watching it now, man, like as an actual guy, like it is a bit cheesy, but it's like it's just so like, kind of cool and iconic. And they do the dance and like, it's cool. And like Andrew's character, Emilio Estevez, ends up with the weird lassie, and like the poor guy ends up with the rich guy, and Brian's just like writing the story to the teacher like, "Fuck you, we're the fucking Breakfast Club," and it's just like, this is class. This is class. And it's kind of weird because I think like 2 years later, Anthony Michael Hall ended up being in a film called Johnny Be Good with Robert Downey Jr., where he played like the jock, and he was pure built and huge. Also, Anthony Michael Hall plays like the reporter in the Batman trilogy for Christopher Nolan. So that's a cool wee thing. So if you ever see Anthony, like the guy with the red face and the white hair doing the news reports, that's Brian for the Breakfast Club.
That's
Joke.
man.
Aye.
Don't joke.
Big joke. So
I'm
Brick
remember-
Hard, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, aye. Well, it's nostalgia, no. I'm going to watch that and maybe it'll be good.
Sweet. Sounds perfect. Right. I think we'll need to wrap for this part, and we'll be back with serial and YouTube video 10 out of 10s
Oh,
for you all.
yes.
My guys,
Let's do
back
it.
soon.
You want to pick something?
Me?
He's an intro.
Welcome back to part
3.
3, 4.
Yeah, part 3.
Part 3, aye.
Is it part
Wow.
3? No, 4. Because we done part 1, then no.
Part 3.
Part 3.
Part 3. Aye, because December was just the first
Oh,
recommendation.
right, part 3, right. Part 17,000 of episode 10 and the season finale of season 1 Disco Saloon.
Woo! Whoop whoop.
We are going to head over to the other read in the Disco Saloon camp. Aaron,
Yes.
for a YT video that's 10 out of 10 in Chinese life and things.
Yes, it did so. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to hog this mic for a couple of minutes.
Go for it.
Please spit bars, man.
I will
Please
absolutely
spit
spit bars. Trust.
Please spit in
Trust.
our floor right now
Do it. Spit in the floor.
from a medium
I'm
distance.
not going to do it. I'm not an animal. Right. Let's see. Bars will be the only thing spat in here. Right. Let's see. Right. So the YouTuber, as I had told you earlier, and I think Maesties are aware.
Aye.
Is Super Eye Patch Wolf. Now, this guy is. I don't know any other YouTuber that is like this cunt, right? So he has this ability to talk about stuff that would be mundane in the general sense, but the way he speaks about it and the way he looks at it, and fuck knows, man, this cunt's get like, if I've got 2 eyes, he's got 10. Like, the way he understands and sees things is fucked, and he like cuts stuff up into this weird digestible way that makes it resonate with you. For an example, there's a video about fucking wrestling, which I've spent my entire life hating. Wrestling's fucking fake, right? And I watched a 2-hour-long video that this cunt made, this Super Eye Patch Wolf, about wrestling, and it had me greeting and almost like wanting to watch wrestling.
And
like,
Iron Claw.
the Iron Claw's so good, man.
good,
Fucking
man.
bigger Iron Claw. If
That'll
you
have
haven't
you.
seen it, man, like sweaty, unreal looking men, but then also like the saddest storyline ever.
Aye.
My
Jeremy Allen
perfect
White
combo.
Cooking, Zac
Efron.
cooking.
Oh, fuck's sake, I'm
that
already
that guy
sweating.
from Mindhunter cooking.
Aye,
Can't remember his name.
Oh, utterly peak. But aye, this guy, he does these videos, right? Anyway, the specific video, so some backstory. I'll give you the name of the video, which I've now seemed to have lost. Shit. Sorry, bear with me. It seems to have disappeared. That's bizarre. There we go. So the video, it's actually only 39 minutes long, and it's called What the Internet Did to Undertale, right? So about the video, I'll explain what the video is, right? So the video is pretty much a deep dive into this indie game that one single guy made, and the game's called Undertale, right? And the game is pretty much like it's almost like Pokemon sprites in like terms of its style, and you kick about this like world, and you face off with like different bosses and fucking you meet different characters along the way, and it's just like a very indie fucking retro style game that one guy cooked in his house. Like, that's it. There shouldn't be much depth in that, right? But when I watched this video, and for MD watching, this might get a little deep or listening, but when I watched this video, I was at a point in my life where like I could have been happy with it no going on. So I was like, my mental health was probably its utter lowest it's ever fucking been in my entire life. I was working a night shift in a job that I didn't want to be in. In my housing situation, my relationship situation, everything in my world seemed like it was fucking on the bottom and no worth clinging on to. Like, that was the reality, or at least how I understood the situation at the time. So I was doing these night shifts, and they were just making my mental health worse, because I don't know if shout out MD that does fucking night shifts.
Oh, yeah.
You're a fucking legend. I know, like, you've done
my
some.
time,
I
aye.
dabbled the tiniest teeny in it and went, actually, fuck
Aye.
It ain't easy, chat.
It is, innit?
You end up with the designer Chanel bags, man, hanging for your eyes.
Aye,
It's
and
mental.
like your mental just goes. So like I was already in like
Aye.
the worst place
Chanel.
that I could be at that point in my life, and I was doing night shifts. So it was just like it was always single man night shifts or single person night shifts in a care service. So like the whole idea was you done a 10-hour shift by yourself for like 8 o'clock at night, or 12-hour shift, 10 at night to 8 in the morning, so 10-hour shift by yourself. You're looking after young folk, so at any point they could rush down with an emergency, so your eye was on edge. So I never felt like I could rest during that time, and sleeping all day, as we all can, like sometimes it's nice, right? But it's fucking terrible for you.
It's terrible.
Like, it
you
is-
can't always do it.
No, like
Your
if
body can't always do it.
I think some folk might be built for night shifts.
Definitely.
Aye.
100%.
But I wasn't. Like I thought, oh, I'm a night owl. I stay up to 3 in the morning every day watching. It's a different fucking thing. It's a
Aye.
different thing.
3 in the morning isn't getting home at 10 in the morning. Do you know what I mean?
Aye,
It's different, innit? Like,
oh, it's fucking. It was horrendous, but it wasn't necessarily the job. It was just like a combination of my mental state and the fact it was in the middle of the night. Anyway, this guy makes this video, right, and it's what the internet did to Undertale. So as I said, it's an indie game. It was made for about 10 grand or something, like something stupidly low, and the guy just posted it online. And what ended up happening is that like this culture formed on the internet that grew arms and legs, and then all this lore and fucking like it became this whole thing. They've done it to other stuff like Sonic. They've done it to, I don't know if it's Barbie, and like the guy makes videos about all this. But basically what happens when the internet takes something, and the video, the bulk of the video was about like, see when somebody creates something, like they make something, and then it goes on the internet, is it still theirs? Or is it like, is it the internet's, is it the world's today with what they fucking want with it? That was the purpose of the video. So it was all about like intellectual property, but in like a mere kind of like personal way, not in the copyright fucking sense, like in a personal way. But it just so happens that this fucking like wee indie game that some cunt made in his own gaff also had some of like the most introspective fucking like healing shit you will ever come across. So one of the things in the game is that you can choose and beat the full fucking game without killing anybody. You don't need to kill anybody. And if you don't kill anybody, the responses that your character will get and get fair folk are more positive. If you kill everybody, by the end you're like a monster.
aye.
And if you don't kill anybody, like you're a kind of hero.
It is cracked, man.
It's so
That is
fucked, right? And like this guy just made it by himself. So like there's so much lore here, right? But there's one quote, and this is like the kind of main bit that stuck out to me. I've got this in my screenshots, right? And I can hang in this. 5th of December 2022. Right? So just over exactly 2 years ago. Right? And there's one bit where the character, right, and regardless of how you play the game, whether you fucking you let everybody live, you kill everybody, you become the monster or you become the hero, whatever. There's a bit where the character goes off into a bathroom and it's just hidden in the game. It's no, like, you don't need to click this to see it. It's just a mirror in a bathroom in one of the wee rooms, and I've got it there. And if you click on the mirror, it comes up. Despite everything, it's still you. And like at that moment in my life, I don't think there was a thing. There was nothing.
I wish it was a good one, man. It was I was being able to see that, man.
But at that point in my life, there was absolutely fucking nothing that could have came into my life and had that profound an impact as that like single sentence. Despite everything, it's still you. Because at that point in my life, I fucking hated myself. I thought I deserved the worst. I didn't think that there was any point because I brought no value to MD's life run about me. And anybody that I did think fucking cared for me, cared for the previous version of me, know the person I was in that moment at that time. But that quote, despite everything, it's still you, suggested to me that regardless of how I feel about myself, it is still me. And if folk love me, it's because they love me. It's no fucking me 5 years ago when I was happy and I wasn't fucking depressed, which, come to learn, was a fucking illusion. Because when I'm doing it, I always thought I used to be happy, and when I'm happy, I used to think I was fucking sad. No. It's just it's a dichotomy that I exist in constantly. I'm getting a lot better at dealing with it, and a huge fucking part of it was watching that video, seeing that quote, experiencing that. I remember watching it and actually being like, this has changed a lot. I ran home to fucking Bradley. I made him fucking watch it. I sent it to Jay. I was in the midst of like a journaling fucked mindset thing where I was trying to fucking piece together everything in my life. I was smoking hunters of fucking weed. I managed to eventually kick the weed off the back of this. I fucking like built myself up to a point where I now respect my fucking self. but knowing that, like, cringy, I respect my, it's like, as in I genuinely think that I'm a fucking worthy person of love and care, and I can give that to folk without feeling like it's fake. And a big, huge fucking portion of that came from watching that video. So the video, as I'll repeat, is, oh, it just disappeared again. What the Internet Did to Undertales by Super Eye Patch Wolf. Fucking go and watch it. Go and watch that guy's air fucking videos. They literally all fucked me up in the best way and made me rethink the world.
Good, man.
I don't know what he's fucking smoking, but like it's some good shit and no like none of that like fuck your brain shit. Like he's smoking positivity. I think
He cares, man.
Oh, he cares
The man
so much.
really cares.
It's fucking. It's
He cares about
honestly.
what he cares about. Like, I don't know how to explain it. He knows, and he knows how to tell people how he cares about it.
Like, big up that cunt because he's went out his way to make a video about something that air cunts would just write off as, oh, fuck it, it's just a wee fucking game. He done that, and I can't be the only cunt that's watched that and it's had a positive impact. Maybe not to the same extent, but like, and there stuff in my life that's been like that, like fucking watching Interstellar or watching Arrival, but I'll maybe deep into them at a different point when we've got different recommendations and stuff. But
this is why they say that if somebody's like an artist or a creator or anybody that has something in them that they can take out of themselves. So like, you're in a band, you're probably one of the funniest folk I can. You make TikToks, whatever. Like, every time you do that is an opportunity to change not only yourself but that opportunity to make somebody else see the world in a different way.
100%.
Like that guy doing Undertale videos, he might have just made that because he thought it was interesting, it was cool and whatever, but the fact that he could have made the thing that actually was the main turning point in your adult life is mental. So that's like, see, when you've got the doubts that you shouldn't do stuff, that's the reason you do it. Because
he didn't set
it's not about
to change life.
No,
he just set to do something he was passionate
he's done it
about,
going because I've got something in me that I need to share with the world, and like, that's raw. The guy's raw in it. Like, he's naked.
So fucking raw.
He's so naked, and the trust that he has to just put into the world. And obviously the whole video is about like the whole with the internet and like them taking control of the information and who actually owns it and all that kind of stuff. But he's put himself out there too, and like, in a way we're kind of doing that and whatever.
I think it's gave
so
me a lot
raw,
of inspiration. It's the same when I watch films that change my perspective on the world or whatever. Like, I'm just in my brain, I'm just making daft fucking TikTok videos, but I also get fucking 100 messages a week saying that I've made somebody's day, or I'm really funny, or like they look forward to my video every day, and it's fucking stupid schlock half the time. It is, but I know I'm having an impact on folks' lives, which seems crazy to me because it's such like a small scale fucking personal thing that I just make wee funny things to make myself laugh and hopefully folk. But it does. So that gives me a lot of fucking like internal validation to keep doing stuff like that. To do stuff like this, the fact we've got a fucking platform, right? We've got 100 fucking odd viewers each week on YouTube. That's 100 cunts that we have an opportunity to them to learn something for us, right? And it might not be an intellectual thing, but it might be a new fucking joke, or it might be a new way of looking at the fucking world, or it might be a quote that sets them on a different path. Creativity is fucking important, and that video is important to me because of that, and it's made me care a lot more about that process. So
creativity gives folk the chance to create positive change.
Yeah,
it's like me and Jay got a really lovely message for Can Beat. Shout out Can Beat again.
Shout out Can Beat. Can Beat, right?
Because like, we don't see Can Beat too much, and he sent me and Jay like a really lovely message saying how much it makes him listening to the podcast makes him miss us just hanging about with us, but makes him feel like he's in the room with us.
He's part of it,
that,
and
man.
it's like it's filling like that little gap that he's been like missing. He's probably going to listen to this and be like, oh, "Fuck, man, that's my boy."
we got a spot right here.
I think a few folks said on YouTube and all, like that guy that I can't remember his name, but on YouTube he said he had tanned them all. I don't know if it was L-Dubs 420.
I was L-Dubs 420.
But he had tanned them all on a night shift. Like, he watched band and he was like, I'm just going to tan it on. He was like, oh, it made my night shift.
And that like, see, that's enough.
More than enough.
Like, you know.
And like when we were talking about like the concept of the podcast and that, we were talking about we want to be that kind of warm hug during the winter months when folk are maybe feeling a wee bit lonely and they're not seen or they're working or they're doing all this kind of nonsense, man. And it's just like sitting with your pals and just like listening to them. Like, you don't even need to say anything. There's no like nobody's forcing you to like act up in a certain way.
Yep.
It's like you can just sit and listen to us like just spout utter shite.
Yep. 100%.
What was that quote again?
despite everything, it's still you.
I don't know if you Idols have got a song, I'm sure it's called The End. And he's kind of talking about life, and he's like, oh, stings like a bitch, kicks like a mule, act like a dick and all that. But then it says, in spite of all, life is beautiful.
Aye. And it's that same thing. It's that thing like this, like regardless of the hardships, the suffering or whatever, like you still are uniquely yourself, and there's a power in that, like in and of itself. Like 100%.
It kind of gives me, and this is a bit different because I literally was joking about the film the other day. There's a film called, what's it called, man? But it's got Vanessa Hudgens in it, and it's about the band. It's called Band Slam, and the boys pure obsessed with David Bowie, and it's like they like try and come up with this band to compete in this Band Slam, but he wants this pure meaningful band name that like hits different and like it pure echoes into eternity kind of thing, and like nobody can come up with anything. It ends up calling it, and when I was younger I thought it was stupid, but like thinking about it now, it was called I Can't Go On, I'll Go On. And it's like
it's the same kind of thing.
Feels like the same kind of breath. Like it's like you go anyway, like you can't, but you go, do you know what I mean? Like it's still you. That is a 10 out of 10 quote. But
it's a 10 out of 10
and
quote.
in that wee game, the fact it's so simplistic and dark and stuff, like, and then the fact that just pops out anywhere,
it's
it
just
does
hidden,
hurt, man.
And the fact it is no part of the main storyline. You need to come.
You have to fin it yourself.
You have to fin it yourself.
But there's a discovery in itself, man. And that's like life, man. Which you discovered that video, but you also discovered that discovering in that. And then that's probably why folk took it out.
You hadn't seen that video.
And that's what I mean. But like
know,
we don't know about like the echoes of the stuff that we experience and partake in, even online or in real life, until much further down the line. Like, you might experience something. That's going to be the catalyst. That's me. Because I've heard them a million times. How many times have I texted you like, no, I've worked it out, man.
I've got it all worked out now. Just you wait until next week, baby.
And it never pans out. But I think this has been the first one where it's like, from then there has been a consistent progression towards better, and it's not that I've not slipped up and fucked up and done things I shouldn't and been a person that I don't want to be, but through it all I've been building towards something better. And that was the catalyst, because at that point I had nothing to cling on to. Like,
You've not been coming out with fucking like 1.21 gigawatts. Like I've just invented the flux capacitor.
That stuff's all died down, because now I'm based a lot more in reality and within myself now. Like, and now when I do things, it's like, it's for me, and it's no with this grand fucking design either. Like, even doing the TikToks and that, like, I will openly be like, I know, it's just kind of daft wee videos. Like, that's because it's no, like, I'm no fucking changing the world. That isn't it. But because I'm doing it, I could be having an effect, and that's the fucking nice bit. So, it's unbelievable, man. I shout out Undertale, shout out Super Eye Patch Wolf, man.
I saw a quote, sorry Jack, and we'll get to your section. But I saw a quote because we were talking about like I was trying to figure out what quote I was going to do in that for the day for 10 out of 10. And I don't know if it was Oscar Wilde, because I was talking about Oscar Wilde quotes, but there was one that said experience is just the word we use to better our mistakes, something like that. But it was basically talking about how, like, you're not going to get good at anything like without fucking up first. Do you know what I mean? And I think life just is that. And the biggest fucking way. Do you know what I mean? You're going to hurt folk. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to be confused. You're going to know ken what today. You're going to think you have it all figured out. There's like the interview with Tom Hanks, and he's talking about this too shall pass. I ken Tom Hanks is kind of on the brink. Don't know if he's a pedo. Don't know what the fuck. But to be fair, this too shall pass. There's a bit where he's like, this too shall pass. Oh, you think you've got it all figured out. This too shall pass. Oh, everything's great. This too shall pass. Oh, this is the worst ever. This too shall pass. So that kind of
it's
keeps
a very grounded kind of
riding the wave.
I like it.
Aye.
But should we? Serial, or are you searching with their fucking...
I was just quickly looking for something when you were talking about that.
What, the Tom Hanks?
Aye. No, I wasn't searching if Tom Hanks was a pedo or not. I was searching for what the word what sans soleil means, but I think it means without sun. But anyway, that's something completely different.
That is
It's a good film as well.
Aye. Anyway,
we're going to end on a bit more a brighter note.
I'll
bring
try
it
to bring
back
it
up.
up, man, because
Aye.
you've
But I love
Yous
that,
have
man.
fucking stunk out the joint with all your fucking sad shit.
Aye,
Well, maybe.
let's end this season on
Aye, a
a
sweet
lovely
note.
sugar
sweet note.
high.
Aye.
But yeah, no, like just to bring you back to being love that, man.
Aye.
Just glad that midget that just had an effect,
We,
man. That's
we wouldn't
class.
be here if I didn't see that video, and that's fact.
Which is wild,
that's
man.
facts.
That's so cool.
like
Defo.
100%. Like,
Did you ever play the game? Did you
Nope.
ever play it? No.
no, I wrote in
That's
my
even
notes.
better. I actually think that's even better.
It's
never,
because-
never will. I don't
It's
think,
because
wait,
the
would you? Like,
idea of the
do you
thing
have
was
to?
powerful enough.
Aye,
Like, knowing that information was enough for me. The actual game is like,
It's kind of spoiler, isn't it? Though.
it's definitely a because I'd just be charging to that bit to see it and be like, oh, cool. And it would just, it wouldn't hold the weight, you know? But it holds the weight because it exists in my mind as like a pivot kind of thing. So,
Can't have a limit on an idea.
no.
I feel like we should send this podcast to Supply Patch Wolf, but
Aye,
Be like,
aye,
by the way, this
just-
is,
I won't
you
tell
did
him.
this at one
Aye.
point, and you'd be like, oh, class.
I'll
If
never-
wants to tag him, I don't even know if he'd even see it, but
Yeah, I think he's too big time for us.
Aye,
You
he
never
is.
know.
He's big time.
Maybe he's a grounded guy.
Maybe we'll
Aye.
clip it and send him across.
maybe he reads the comments. Who knows?
Yeah.
Probably does read the
Well,
comments.
they, I mean, we've fucking messaged was it Nestle, and they fucking go back to us, man. You know.
Oh,
what
we didn't.
Oh, I thought we
Do you want to
didn't.
quickly give an update on that?
We'll see, man. I think that camera's about to explode. Let's
Is
see.
Aye, let's do it. Let's go.
But how many weeks ago was this? Fuck, man. We've just dropped
The Golden Grahams week.
Golden Grams.
Aye, whatever week that was. Aye, Golden Grahams week. If you watched it, we ate Golden Grahams and we spoke about Golden Grahams and how they don't do them in the UK anymore. So what I done was I emailed Nestle and
Yes.
I said, listen, I do a podcast in Scotland. I'm a film student, and my topic on the podcast is cereal. And so, Ken, I'm just wanting to know if you're going to sling me a couple of boxes or what. How does that work? What's the chat with that? In 2 seconds to try and find the email, right? I can't remember what I basically said that. That was basically the full email. And they replied saying, so this is for Nestle, this is for Sarah, UK and Ireland Consumer Engagement Services. She said, hello Jay, thanks for getting in touch. Unfortunately, we had to withdraw Golden Grahams from our range as sales were relatively low, so it's your fucking fault. No mine. That is mental,
Get
isn't
your
it? But
finger out.
The fact they told you that it's peak,
Aye,
like,
it's
do you know that way?
brilliant.
Like a wee peek into their market, like share kind of thing.
It
At
was,
least they were honest.
it was a difficult decision for us because we are proud of all our products and don't like to disappoint our consumers. Keep me sweet. I hope you can understand why we took this decision. Thank you again for taking the trouble to contact us and for your loyalty to our products. Kind regards, Sarah.
I'm telling you, we are clipping that. That's going out as a
Aye,
clip.
that's so good, man.
Too good, man.
Aye, peak.
So we're not getting Golden Grahams back, but we did at least get a view into the window of why they disappeared in that
Yep.
and got a reply. So
We got a reason, so.
right, 10 out of 10 cereal. I've teased it, I've edged it, I've
Edgelord.
denied it, an orgasm.
Tell me, Daddy.
Kellogg's Ricicles. Fuck. And I've just had this weird thing in my head, right? So in America, they were called Frosted Krispies, which makes sense because.
Oh, right. All right. Okay. Aye.
But then I was thinking, Frosties in America are called Frosted Flakes, so why did we in the UK had the feeling we had to come up with. Because usually America would come up with a cool, snappy nickname, thing,
Aye.
and we'd come up with something shite.
Aye, we'd have the generic like
Whereas
frosted wheat.
out here we've got Ricicles and Frosties instead of Frosted. Anyway, so Rick, the fucking astronaut who kind of looks like the
Wee boy
Milky
at
Bar
Stuart-
kid a wee
Oh,
bit.
yeah,
Oh, wee boy
I've
at Stuart Little and all.
Aye. No, but it is Milky Bar Kid. Aye, I see it.
Freckles,
Aye.
this kind of blonde fringe.
He's like the wee kid for Billy Madison.
Oh, aye. That I
that's
know.
a good one as well.
Last episode I spoke about the artwork on Scott's Porridge Oats.
Yeah, we did.
Sorry, took my minute there. I was
The
trying to work out what one because there's hundreds of ways,
Aye,
but it's his
aye.
pal. His pal.
Yeah.
Aye.
the artwork on that Ricicles box, whatever that
Did not do that.
whatever that colour of blue is,
Rainbow
whatever that
rocket.
colour of blue is, it might even be purple. I don't even know. No, it's definitely a dark blue.
Aye, dark
I
blue,
don't know
aye.
what it is, but wow, with
Aye.
the stars in the background.
Aye.
Fuck.
That
Aye.
box
He's
is
got this, like,
iconic,
I think
man.
it's like orange and red space outfit. Fuck
Aye.
me, man. They went ham for that.
Aye, they
Aye.
went hard. Big time.
My one thing is, but so they're getting the I don't know what they're getting the stars and all that, and they're getting the space, which I don't really know why, but cool, we'll dig it. But then his Ricicles might just be like icicles because you say things are frosted.
Aye, probably.
I think so.
I think so. Bicycles, aye.
So then I wonder how they go to the space thing.
Cold
Because what happens when you put something out in space?
It does get really cold.
Aye.
It freezes.
Aye.
So maybe
So
that
I
was
was
meant to be
wondering
like,
that was-
meteor rocks
Well, I think
turn into
that-
icicles.
That's why I think
Aye.
the stars,
Like the dust.
the stars in the background of the photo, I think, are meant to maybe represent, because there's meteors as well, isn't there?
Aye.
So I was wondering if that's the stars.
I
are
think
made
it's
like
like the meteors are meant to be like the icicles. and the
Anyway,
frozen.
I'm telling you the new. See whatever.
Or it's stardust. It could go that far.
Well, I was about to say, see whatever was on that. It
Stardust.
must have been cocaine or something. Because folk are like this. I don't know. This is like crazy deep fucking cereal theory here, right? But see the frosted that's on Frosties. It's not the same as the frosted that was on Ricicles.
No, Ricicles felt
That
like
Ricicles
melted
was-
sugar,
Fuck,
man.
Wow,
Aye.
it was crack.
Aye,
It
like-
could have been crack, man.
It
It was wild,
could have been
man.
actual crack cocaine.
Maybe that's when they stopped selling it because they were just feeding
Aye.
kids crack.
Just too dear.
They also had they also had all the good shit that like a bowl of Rice Krispies have, so like the Snap Crackle and Pop. They had that.
I know
all.
they did. Aye.
And they offer, they did keep shaping all that. Like they had
Aye.
texture and graininess, and holy fuck, man.
Don't get you started on the milk.
That milk was
Oh,
crack.
right,
Yeah.
See, if I think about it really hard, I can taste it.
I know. I
Aye.
could taste it there when I said milk.
But
Like it
it's
was,
like
it's
a
there.
very fleeting thing in my mind, man.
I have a question, and
It's like your first kiss.
have you ever just like to try and like chase that dragon that is long flew away into the abyss? Wait, is Rice Goes discontinued. Aye, they're gone. Right.
Get out of here.
You'll
Just
maybe
keep it
get
right.
some cunts books for 2017 that they've had in their cupboard for,
Aye.
but like, oof, man.
Don't know about that.
What I was going to say is like obviously as it must be like just like Rice Krispies just caked in sugar, but they're no like. Have you ever tried to recreate like? Because I've like Rice Krispies with sugar is good, but you need the sugar goes to the bottom. You have to
It's
sugar
grainy
in,
and all.
but it's not the same. Whereas that Ricicles like it was coated, man. It
Ricicles-
was sat in it for days.
It was one of the few cereals when I was away and where, like, I'm sure there was one point I put sugar on Cocoa Pops, but I would never have done it on Ricicles.
'Cause
No,
they were
you
just
didn't
the
have to.
perfect level.
You didn't
They,
have
they were
to.
just peak, like it was
No.
just even in my darkest fucking 10 scoops of sugar in before the milk.
Days, these are dark
Aye.
days.
I went to Asda when I heard they were getting discontinued and bought like 2 or 3 boxes, and honestly I wish I had bought 100.
What year was it?
I want to say it was 2018, but I don't know.
2018.
I was going to say 17 for some reason.
That's so long
it
ago
is
now.
17 or 18.
Don't know why that rang
I'm
my head,
thinking
but-
if they ever were to make a comeback, it would be shite. So I'm just going to. It's so. In fact, I was talking about your things all being sad. My thing's fucking sad because I'm never going to experience that again.
No.
It's gone. It's nostalgia merchant.
Aye,
So,
no,
what,
that is
so what, do they
nostalgia,
not
man.
have Ricicles anywhere?
No, because they had Frosted Krispies in America, but they discontinued them and all.
I've just looked up Ricicles. There's a box going for
On eBay for like 20 quid. But
£100.
£100 on eBay.
I ain't paying
£100.
that. I'm sorry, man.
No.
No,
on eBay.
Ken, that box is actually.
Let me
like,
see that box.
Oh my god!
But that's got to be
No.
that's got to be fucked though.
But you would still tan it.
Oh, aye.
You'd
it's
still
got the
tan it.
thingy.
I might put a bid in.
What day's your birthday? 28th of
28th
January.
aye. So I
£100
would see
pound?
this right. See the font. See the
33
font used
each.
on that box.
Big.
The font used on the box.
Oh, aye,
The
aye.
design on the box. The character. The fucking taste. The milk. I don't even
The
know
dust.
what else. The dust.
Aye, the dust.
the dust in
dust
the
was
bag.
peak.
The dust in
Like
the
if you,
bag.
I've not spoke about font yet. See whatever that font is on that
Yeah,
fucking
it's
right.
crack,
Kevin,
man.
it's like
Get it on the saloon, man.
It's like the word art font, isn't it?
So I.
Do you know what's weird about the font? The eyes are small, but the rest of the letters are all capital letters. That's weird.
I'm brick for it. I don't know what to say.
2017, they got discontinued, by the way. So that's what, 7 years?
There is something in that brain there, man, that knew, that you understood that. I said 2017.
That was,
To
that
be
was a
fair,
spiritual
I
kind of
changed
awakening.
my
though.
answer because I said I couldn't probably get a box for 2017, and then I ended up saying 2018.
Aye,
so I
you
thought it was
did,
after.
aye.
But
What
do you know
happened
what
in
it-
2017?
discontinued in 2017, but with them maybe have still been boxes floating about.
I bet
That's
there
maybe
would be
all.
like Kellogg's guys who would have had it.
There would have probably been stuff in
Oh, they weren't
supermarkets for
expired
a
for
while.
like, 6 months,
aye. 'Cause they would have probably
So
ran in.
They might actually not actually ran out of Ricicles to 2018.
Aye, there's a
Well,
good chance they would have still been
I
in
am
shops.
telling you the new. I'm fucking emailing them. is what I'm doing.
I think email them and all.
And I'm just going to say,
Is that Nestle too? No.
Kellogg's.
Kellogg's.
And I'm like,
aye,
right,
aye.
see if yous have got a box fresh batch anywhere, or if you ken somebody that can hook me up with a fresh. Like, think how easy it would be for them to make one box of Ricicles. See, they could just got a cunt to come in for a one shift at overtime and give them the equipment.
See, the thing is, but see if you went to the internet, right?
I'd buy 'em.
Like you go to Reddit because Hank
8 hour shift, tenner.
Hank say
£12 an hour, that's it.
7 years ago, right? There was about 100 folk in a factory making Ricicles alone.
Aye.
There was a specific way to put the sugar in, mixed with the Rice Krispies. That it can't be that hard to make Ricicles. It can't be.
Somebody must
It's
know
sugar
the
and Rice
recipe.
Krispies.
Somebody will ken the recipe. But I don't think you can make it at home.
And
You
that-
need the mass production.
Aye, the
Kim, I think it
machines.
might be. I don't think it's actual sugar they put on it. I think it's
No.
icing sugar.
Aye.
Aye.
So
No.
why do you not try and let it marinate for like a week?
See when you read the fucking ingredients, but it's going to be like fucking.
I know, there'll be 40
I'm
things.
saying all these things that Jay hasn't tried it. Like, Jay's not been doing this joke, but trying out 4 different types of sugar with a box of Rice Krispies.
Aye, hold on a minute. I'll get my hair net and I'll sit in the kitchen for 3 days like fucking.
Like a chemist.
Aye, like Breaking Bad, man. Just like it's almost ready. Do you know what, man?
That would drive you insane, man.
What's that
Oh,
word?
man.
What does ennui mean? Ennui. Google that for me,
Ennui.
please. Pull that shit up, Jamie. Ennui. Ennui. Because I think that's how I feel about Rice Krispies, but you need to tell me what it means first before I say I feel like
Is
that.
that not like the-
A feeling of listlessness
No?
and dissatisfaction
Oh,
arising from a
dissatisfaction.
lack of occupational excitement.
Yep, could be, man. I'm getting the excitement and I'm feeling dissatisfied now.
Is that not what
You're
the
sad about
emotion
your
is?
job, so
The
you miss
emotion for Inside Out 2 is called on me.
Yeah.
Aye,
Right,
that's
okay.
it. So that's me about Ricicles. I'm trying to think of what more I can say, but honestly, they did change. Like,
Blow soaks
there
at
is no cereal. I would never get sick of them. I have never been sick of them. I could
No.
scud 2 off it. Like, see the balls I'd eat of them, they would turn
Aye.
cunts to dust.
Aye, Ricicles were
Like,
elite.
cunts would look at them and be like, no. I'm telling you, man, the balls I had of them were rising.
See, I
like the
was-
tap, man.
I think, because we did have Ricicles, but I always felt that like 2 bowls of Ricicles was too much. But see, up 2 bowl of Golden Grahams, nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, no, don't get me wrong,
But-
man. You must have been elite.
But in
levels of
retrospect,
sugar.
no. Like, if the Ricicles were gone, you would be tanning the box.
Aye,
Like, you would.
100%.
You'd have to.
I'm conscious of that camera blowing up, but I'm trying to quickly think of what else I've no said about them because they're a 10 out of 10 elite.
Or
But I'm trying to just think
if
of
there's any honourable mention cereals, because this might be your last cereal section on
Aye.
the pod.
fuck.
At least for this season, we'll
For
see
this
what
We
happens.
can we can dip
right,
back in.
OG
but,
Wheatos, OG Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Crisp, I forgot.
Aye, I didn't
Cookie
say
Crisp, I'm phobic Cookie
Aye.
Crisp. Back in the day, Cookie Crisp, but I feel they get a bit
Bit,
less
stale
crispy,
now.
aye.
Fuck, man, I used to love this thing called Just Right. We spoke about that.
Aye.
Fuck, Weetabix Chocolate Minis.
Aye, they're good, man.
Crunchy Nut Cornflakes, I guess. All of them. Chocolate Shreddies, best milk in the game.
Chocolate, aye.
Chocolate
don't you-
shredded
It's
I
like
didn't even speak about
Nesquik.
them.
It's like
Nesquik.
Nesquik.
Oh,
aye,
Nesquik
man.
OG, man.
Nesquik. Aye, Nesquik, actual
very
Nesquik.
OG,
aye.
aye.
Choco Rocks.
Choco Rocks.
Choco Rocks, the pillars, man.
Pillars, man.
Oh.
Crave. I could list them. I think I'm just listing all cereal.
What's your verdict on Crunchy Nut Clusters?
Which I said them in an episode.
Oh,
remember?
did you?
The chocolate
Aye, when you
swirls.
saw
Oh,
Big
the
Mac accent,
swirls we did.
Aye.
But the normal ones are pretty good as well.
What about the honey? The honey, do you get what I'm talking about? There's like the crunchy
Aye.
nut, but there's honey nut ones as
Aye,
well.
they're
And
good
they're
as well.
glazed. They're glazed in honey.
Honey nut
Damn.
shredded wheat.
And what about golden nuggets? I don't think you spoke about them.
I could go all day. My
Aye.
honourable
Ora Borealis.
my honourable
It is a horrible death.
honourable mentions for cereal are just all cereals in the world.
Just them all.
Because I haven't ate a bowl of cereal and went, I do not like that.
Water bugs and milk.
Exactly.
What?
Aye.
Right. Your house is on fire. You've got
Right.
every box of cereal in the world.
Oh,
a
Ricicles.
pair for Ricicles.
Aye,
What
so
you
it's-
grabbing?
Oh,
And it's the last. It's the last house in the world with
you know
cereal
what?
in it.
See, because we don't have them anymore, and I think folk just forget about them, right? OG Cocoa Pops.
Aye, no,
Yeah.
they
But
were.
the sugar
Aye.
caked.
OG Cocoa
It feel-
Pops for one last fucking
It feels
rodeo.
like there used to be like 10 goats to the game. Do you know
Aye,
that way? Like,
aye.
like they were all vying for top
Aye.
spot, where it's not
we're
that.
There was a
definitely going
golden age,
through
for sure.
Aye, we're
Aye.
going through like what was that called? No disenlightenment. We're going through like what is that stage
decline
called?
kind of
There was like the Renaissance and then there was the Enlightenment period.
Yeah.
We're going through whatever the shit period
Aye,
that is
the
now
bit.
for cereal. It's
The Dark
and
Ages.
it's no. I think it's
Aye,
going
the
to get
Dark
better.
Ages,
You're
aye.
kind of
It's-
just hanging
well,
on.
they
for
stopped.
it.
They stopped Vesicles because
the
of the sugar
depression,
content.
the
as well.
cereal depression.
We'll
It was
get
the
back
sugar
to a point
content
where
that fucked up.
they'll allow us probably like we'll probably have a fucking revolution and we'll get as much sugar as we want eventually.
Well, top of my list is Ricicles. I'm out there on the picket line. We want Ricicles. We want Ricicles.
Give me
aye.
a stick in your
So
sign.
I'm going to email Kellogg's and I'm going to say, look,
Just fuck
I
Jimmy
am
Oliver.
doing what I
Aye.
need begging for
Can
it.
you at least give me like enough of a recipe for one bowl?
Or can you at least make me a t-shirt or something?
Aye, that would be
t-shirt,
a
but
would be
fair.
sick.
Or
thing,
you
aye.
got like anything? Can I smell a bag that wants had Ricicles in it or something?
Surely they have like a boat, like a fucking.
They'll have an archive, I'm sure.
Aye, there has to be like a trailer or something,
I
man.
swear
It's
to
just
God.
It's
full
kind
of
of like
icicles.
that big chilled place in Scandinavia where they keep all the seeds
Aye,
Aye,
and all the different plants.
It's Svalbard.
Aye,
Yeah,
aye,
the-
aye. See if there's a
the
cereal
seed
one
bank.
of them.
All
Aye,
the-
the seed bank.
All the
aye.
place, I think there's another place in I'm sure it's in Scandinavia. I know now where folk are like dying and they give their body out to research, but they get frozen.
Oh, aye, aye, the cryo stuff. Aye, aye.
So
I mean,
wonder
if they're
somebody-
keeping dead bodies, they better be keeping all cereal, do you know? Like, come on, brother.
Ken, but I've not even realised.
Yes.
So, like, see, the majority of cereals, there's usually like a non-brand version of the cereal, right?
Aye.
So
Where's
you've
the
got-
one for rice?
Where's the one for rice cookies?
I don't think
like
so.
Sugared
No, I don't think so.
crispy rice or whatever the fuck they've
No.
got. No,
I don't
Like,
remember there
no,
being one.
There might have been some at some point somewhere, but no, because there's no really ones for Golden Grahams, is there?
No, no.
no.
Golden Grahams must have had a tiny market share, man.
We'll be
like,
back.
Aye.
we'll be back.
For those listeners, I was pointing to the Golden Graham box that's sitting behind Callum's seat.
Would you be
Aye.
satisfied with an air bowl? Ken, Matt, I'll give you.
Oh, I'll buy an
I will.
box of them, definitely.
What I was going to say, since your birthday's in the end of January,
Aye.
I could purchase a box of Golden Games, but my only, the only thing that I want is at least one bowl.
You sound like me
And
when
if
I
one of you want a bowl, I want fucking a $5 each.
you'll like me to Ailey, man. I'll buy something for her just so that I can taste. Well, not just so, but she's like, you want one of these, don't you? And I'm like, aye, can I?
Aye, you're hungry, but
100%.
Anyway, Ricicles.
because I came I want.
I wish I could have went deeper, but there's not really any deeper you can go.
Nah,
other
you've,
than
you've spat
the-
bars
know
on
you
it.
joke.
the
Do you know what I mean?
emails there, so
Aye.
wrapping up.
Yeah,
We'll wrap up.
man.
For the end of season one.
Season one,
Yeah,
season
man.
2, where we've switched it up.
Aye, we'll be
Switching
hitting
it
it.
up.
So we won't see till
After
the new
this
year?
episode, yep,
Aye,
it'll be the
yeah.
new year.
Yeah.
So have a fucking wonderful
Have a great Christmas,
new year.
Enjoy
Well,
the
it's after,
festive fog.
it's after Christmas now.
Aye. Pick out some good
Aye.
resolutions and then throw them out the fucking window.
Did you say resolutions?
Resolution.
Yeah.
Make sure you get a good set of resolutions.
Please do.
We'll be there.
Bye. We'll be back for you
Aye, much
season
love.
2.
Yeah, man.
We'll switch it up. My guys, much love for me.
Keep rocking in the free world, man. Free Palestine.
Au revoir, mon ami.
Get you.
Love
Happy
you,
New
cunts.
Year when it comes, my guys.
Yeah.